Well, happy Friday. Happy early New Year's Eve. Welcome to another live lawn care Q&A. Tonight's a special one. Tonight we are going to be answering your lawn care questions as always, but tonight we're also doing the drawing for this year's giveaway. So if you guys were living under a rock, last week I announced what some of the prizes are going to be for the giveaway that we're doing tonight. So for any of you guys that are tuning in, should be a fun evening of lawn care, laughter, giving each other a hard time. Just closing out 2023 with fun as always. For those of you that don't know, my name is Ron Henry, and I'm here to help answer your lawn care questions. The way this works is really simple. On your screen, you're going to see a chat box. On that chat box, you enter your question, concern, comment of the day, and I work through them in the order that they come in. Now, sometimes I have the answer, sometimes I do not. But either way, we have an awesome time talking about lawn care and sometimes life topics. So guys, gals, everyone that's tuning in on the interwebs this evening, we're coming to you guys live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. To enter the giveaway, which was announced earlier this week, you have to be on YouTube. You have to at least leave a comment on YouTube, because that's where I'm going to be doing the drawing. And also, we're also going to be seeing if the person that won is present. So the way this works is you got to be present to win. So if we say that, hey, LG is the winner, which, he would love that. And, we announce it, we show it, and then you have like 10 minutes or so. We're gonna give you 5 to 10 minutes to be able to say, hey, I'm here. And then I'll put your name down. And at which point you can email me after the show, and you can tell you how to claim your prize. I need like address information, that kind of stuff, so we know where to send it. And yeah, so you must be present to win. So if your name is called, 10 minutes goes by, you're not here, we're going to draw again and move on to the next person. So stay tuned in. I'm going to work through it as quickly as possible. So, I know, it's the end of the year. While you guys do love hanging out and talking about turf, I know that most of you are here primarily for the giveaway. So I'm going to try and, kind of move through the live stream a little bit quicker than usual. All right, so Instagram, feel free to be part of the live stream as well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in here, and I'll bounce back and forth between YouTube and the Gram. For anyone that has not entered and you still want a chance, and I'm sure everyone that already has, like, saying, no, don't do that. They should have been watching. They should have been a diehard. But if you want a chance to still get entered, you can for the next few minutes anyway. So this is the live stream from last week that I'm posting into the chat now. So the YouTube video from Tuesday. I keep saying last week, but it really was Tuesday, just a couple days ago. So you need to go there where I just posted in the chat on Facebook and also on YouTube, and leave a comment. The question that I asked was, what was the name of the mole that was destroying my lawn a few weeks ago? If you don't know, I mean, while it does hurt my feelings that you don't watch all the content, if you simply look through the existing comments, you can find the answer. So be sure to do that. Leave a comment so you have a chance to win, and we should have a good time. We've got 6 prizes that we've got figured out to give away this evening, so we'll get through that. So let's first of all run through this, see any questions that people might have, and then we'll get into the giveaway here soon. We'll start. All right. So first up is a question that first is Joseph A. saying to hit that like button, and definitely do that, guys, gals, if you guys would not mind. The like button really is important. It shows engagement, helps drive more people to come watch the content. The algorithm loves it if you guys do that. So hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel. It means a lot. So before we get into that, let me first get this super chat from Archie Amos, starting it off. 'Tis the season for giving, and I really do appreciate this, LG. So we'll put him up. Thank you so much, LG, for that.
Super chat received.
He says, come on, LG, let's, Archie says, come on, LG, let's cleanse out the heat big. All right, I'll take it. So because you are first, sir, Archie, we will put you up as the show sponsor, Mr. Archie Amos, your name in lights for whatever that means to you. There you go. You're up, Archie. Appreciate it, sir. All right, next up we have Jay Bear saying, have an excellent stream, brother, and Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Jackie Bear. I really do appreciate it. And then Max saying, hey, Ron, Julian, Happy New Year. Hope all is well. It is. My lawn is mole-free. It's weed-free. There's not weeds in it, which means my pre-emergent's working well. Just waiting for, for February-ish or so to get my pre-emergent down, my spring pre-emergent, and get on with the season. But yeah, all things considered, cannot complain. Matthew Woodson's up next. He says, can't wait. Should be a good time. And next is Brian Tanner. And here's the thing, guys. As far as what I noticed, I already ran the comment picker to see how many entries we have. At last check, we were at 99. And there's 6 prizes at this point. So, you have decent odds. I mean, it's not great, but they're decent. And you got to figure that some of these people are not going to show up. So you never know. It's worth sticking around. All right, Brian Tanner's up next. He says, good evening, Ron. Looking forward to another great night of lawn care with the Stripe Action Gang. I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you for taking some time out of your New Year's Eve weekend to hang out. Chris Styles, 405, saying, yo, what's up, Chris? The Terminator 1000 saying, happy Friday. Appreciate you. And then Mr. Putt says, evening, happy holidays. That's an actually easier way of saying it, because I used to say, oh, well, you should say Merry Christmas, but there's people that celebrate, Hanukkah, people that celebrate Kwanzaa, and versus saying Happy, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, just saying Happy Holidays is, I guess, a way to kind of catch everybody. So makes sense. I get it. All right, next up is DeMarculis Thompson. He's in the house, and he says, greetings, Ron and Stripe Action crew. Only a short amount of weeks before go time. That's what I'm telling you guys, man. We are not that far away. We're not that far away. It's at least if you're in the Southeast. It's January here, it's about to be January, and 6 weeks from now, thereabouts, it's going to be pre-emergent time here in Northeast Georgia, and before you know it, we'll be out there scalping, turf raking, getting the lawns ready, and then you'll have to mow. So enjoy this downtime while you have it. It's not going to be around too much longer. Next up, we have Papa Mo's Lowe's in the house. Says, happy Friday, Ron. Happy Friday, Papa Mo's Low. Thanks for coming to hang out. Mark Luna says, good evening, Ron and everybody. Happy New Year. 2024 is going to be real low and green. Yeah, man. Yep, most definitely. It sounds like a lot of you guys have done the work over this past year to set yourselves up for a great season next year. So it only gets better, right? As long as you're consistent, it only gets better and better over time. Speaking of great lawns and new equipment and getting yourself ready for the next year, we got Mr. Tom Hoffenkamp in the live stream this evening saying, happy New Year in advance. Y'all, best wishes for a great 2024. Now, Tom sent me some pictures of his new acquisition. So he got a John Deere 220E, I think is what he went with. And it's a 220E golf course lawn stripe action edition. So he put like not one, but two stickers on it. And I got to tell you, this is a clean mower. I'm not sure where you got this, Tom, but that is a clean looking mower. You know, there's some people that put, they have like a sports car in the garage and they keep that all waxed and clean. You know, in this circle, we keep our mowers that way, right? So look at his mower. That's looking good, man. Very clean. He's got the black stripe action sticker and then the chrome, the elusive chrome one. That these don't get sent out too often. These you have to get there's only certain products that the psychedelic sticker goes out with, but Tom has both, so he's representing with style. So I really do appreciate that, sir. Like these guys here, like these stickers. If you like chrome, if you like bling, if you order a the Celsius Certainty herbicide kit, or let me think, or Spectacle Flow, or the Cool Season herbicide kit, these go in there. So these aren't as many of these in the wild as, for example, these ones. Like these are more common, but the psychedelic, if you like bling, if you're some of these people that like to sparkle, then there's only a couple of ways to get those. All right, so next up we have Hitombo saying happy Friday, Ron, and early happy new year for 2024. Yeah, man, 2024 is going to be a good year. Looking forward to it. Thank you for the well wishes. Appreciate it. And next up, we got Gary Freeman in the house saying, hey, Ron, Strap Action Gang, and ahead of time, happy new year. Yeah, because this is going to be the last live stream, at least that I'm planning anyway, of 2023. You know, we're almost done. So yeah, this is going to be it. So next one will be next Friday, and we'll be into 2024. Falcon Pilot, happy Friday. Floyd Sloan saying, hello, Ron. Thanks for all the help coming from Fayetteville, Georgia. You are very welcome. I really do appreciate it, Floyd. You know, that's been the sentiment overall. I mean, it's been really cool. I'm getting the emails and feedback and messages on the various social media platforms just saying that the content has been useful to help you guys get your lawn just a little bit better, help you be that guy or gal on your street, on your block. And that means a lot. It means a lot because it really shows that the process works, and you know that it is not just me. It's easy for, like, if you have a sample of one, it shows you can get results. But when other people from various skill levels that you know, some that might be more experienced with lawn care and some that are just brand new, like getting their first lawn, can still follow the process and still get great results. That is that's pretty awesome. So glad to hear that you're doing well, Floyd. We got another super chat here. This one is from Mr. Christyle405. We will drop that up now. Thank you so much, Chris.
Super chat received.
His question is, I bought a California trimmer and I've been using it since August. Should I get it serviced and sharpened since I used it for half of the growing season? I would, Chris. I mean, it depends on, you know, if the mower is still sharp, if it's still cutting paper all the way across, then you don't necessarily have to go out and get it sharpened. Maybe a back lap is all you're going to need. You know, really, you want to like minimize how often you have to grind on reels, because every time you do that, you're reducing the life of the reel. If you back lap it and then it's still not cutting paper, that's when you need to take it in for a grind. Or if you hit a stone or something and you nick the reel, that's another reason why you have to take it in for a grind. But if the mower's still cutting paper all the way across and still in good shape, a back lap is all I would say to do, and just call it good. And that way you're just preserving the life of your mower. I would still change the oil, do all that type of maintenance. But if it's still cutting paper all the way across, then there's no need to go in and grind the reel. So you will know the answer to that, Chris, based on how the mower is doing. Congrats on the new California trimmer, by the way. I didn't give you some dap for that. I appreciate the super chat. It's a good question. Should you should you sharpen your mower? Should you grind your mower every single year? I mean, I tend to, but it's not. Again, if in your case where you just got it for the most part, and you got it in August, so you really mowed in August, September, maybe a little bit in October, then you shut it down. So it should be fairly fresh as long as you didn't get into dirt and you're scalping and doing these kind of, any kind of practices that are a bit more aggressive. But if you didn't do any of that stuff, then it should be good to go. Like I said, a back lap should be all you need to keep it in good shape. So a great question. Thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Means a whole lot and then some. Okay, so let me find out where I left off. It's always the hardest part whenever I scroll down for super chat. All right, got it. Next up is Gino MKL saying, thanks for all the help this year. You are very welcome, Gino. Thank you for watching the content and for all the support. All right, so we have a question now from Instagram. It says, hey, Ron, from Blaze Mangolona. He says, hey, Ron, I live in Western Washington and my yard is starting to get red thread infestation. Should I wait till spring to treat or start now? I would start now. Temps have been in the high 50s and the lowish 38s. I would start now, Blaze. You could give it time and see if it clears up over time. But I mean, if it were me, I would get a fungicide down. I really wouldn't play with that. Now, as far as fungicides go, there's a couple different options that you can go with. We carry a granular and a liquid fungicide. If you prefer granular products, then Headway G is a great choice. It's got 2 fungicides in the bag. So you've got propiconazole and azoxystrobin. So that would be an excellent choice if granulars are your preference. If you like liquids, then you go with Pillar SC. The nice thing about Pillar that's kind of cool is that there's only one rate. It's 1 ounce per 1,000 square feet. It doesn't matter if you're using it as a preventative or in your case as a curative. It's a single rate, so it's easy to mix, and it's going to work a little bit faster than the granular will. So as far as where you can find that, if you go to the golf course lawn store, you go to shop, and then go to fungicide, insecticide, and on the top shelf, you will find both Pillar SC and Headway G. So either one of those are what I would use to target the problem. So yes, I wouldn't wait. Disease issues. I mean, let me think of one outside of, say, mild dollar spot. I would apply a fungicide like dollar spot. If you have a lawn that's been nitrogen deficient, and if you put a little bit of N in it, like say for example in Bermuda, like that will help the lawn grow through it. But for more serious infestations, if even dollar spot, I would apply a fungicide. I would apply propiconazole. So the answer to your question, yes, I would not wait, because you got to figure you're in Washington. Weather is kind of warmish now. Spring for you is a good 3 months away. I would not wait. So you're going to do a fungicide app. Let's say if you could thermostat and get your fungicide, you would do one, say, today, and then you would do another one 3 weeks from now. Even if it looks better, even if the issue is cleared up, I would still do a follow-up application 3 weeks later to ensure that it's gone, that you're in good shape going forward. So I posted the link there in the chat of where you can look at the fungicides. The 2 that I mentioned, again, are Headway or Pillar SC. And sorry you're dealing with that, but at least you've got the tools now to take care of it if you so desire. Great stuff. Okay. Moving back over to YouTube, we got Ray Skinner. Tell you what, all the folks that I haven't heard from in a while, all you got to do is just talk about free stuff, and folks just show up, come out of the woodwork. We got Ray Skinner saying, "Hey Ron, what's going on, Ray?" And guys, what's going to happen here is here in the next few minutes, we'll do the first drawing. We'll draw the first item, and it's going to be a T-shirt. The first thing we're going to be giving away is a T-shirt. So we have 3 of these that we're giving away tonight. From Miramichi Green, courtesy of Miramichi Green. It is a Greatness from the Ground Up T-shirt. So you have a chance of winning 3 of these, or 3 people can win one of these. And then we're also giving away a couple of soil test kits, courtesy of the nice folks at My Soil. And then we're also going to give away a Golf Course Lawn Carbon Kit. Golf Course Lawn Carbon Kit, courtesy of the Golf Course Lawn Store. So we're going to get going here soon. The first thing is going to be, we're going to go T-shirt, soil test kit, T-shirt, soil test kit. We're going to go back and forth, and then we'll move on to the carbon kit. Right? Okay, so moving on. Next up, we got Mr. Jared George saying, I've decided I want to do a split app of prodiamine in the spring. So you've done the research, you've prayed on it, you've thought about it, you've spoken it over with the lawn, and a split app is the way you want to go. Got it. He says, at what point would I aerate? Won't that break the barrier? Also, why can't I use it again come fall? Great question, Jared. So to answer your first question, will aeration disturb the barrier for pre-emergent? Yes, it absolutely will. Having said that, I will tell you that for years, I've applied pre-emergent, in my case, typically only once in February. And then I aerate in April timeframe. If I do top dressing in May or so, I'll aerate again. and I don't have a lot of issues with weed with breakthrough in my lawn. Now, granted, I use pre-emergent in the fall and I also use pre-emergent in the spring. I'm really diligent about my mowing practices. So overall, my lawn is not one that is conducive, or the environment isn't one that makes it easy for weeds to take root. But I have not seen personally, from my experience, that as long as you get your pre-emergent app out in time, meaning you get it out before soil temps from the mid 50s, and and if you still go and do aeration a month or two later on, is it going to cause, or are you reducing the effectiveness of the pre-emergent? Yes, but again, in my case, I've not experienced like a mass weed outbreak due to aerating, and that's not just me. Like I've done that. Alex, and then the other lawn that's next to ours that we also help out with. So we have like a sample of 3, and there's other people as well, like people in the academy report the same thing, that that they don't have a bunch of problems with weeds in their lawn if they aerate after applying pre-emergent. So that's thing 1. Yes, it will, but as long as you get your pre-emergent out early, it's not going to make a material difference as far as you're going to have a big problem as far as weeds showing up in your lawn. The next question is, why can't I use it again in the fall? There's nothing that says you can't. The thing you have to keep in mind, Jared, is that when it comes to prodiamine, there is an annual limit of how much of the active ingredient you should be putting into the soil. So in the case of Bermuda grass, the annual limit for prodiamine is 0.83 ounces. So I'm talking here, so if you're using the water dispersible granule, so 0.83 ounces per 12 months, right? So if you do a split app in the spring, and say you did, this would be low for Bermuda, so you did like 0.20 in February and then another 0.20 in April, that still leaves you like 0.43 for the fall if you wanted to do that. What most people do though is they take the annual limit and they do half of that, say in February, like late February, early March, and they'll do the other half, so 0.40 in the first app and another 0.40 in the second app, say April timeframe. And what that does is it does give you better control, better prevention, but you've used up your annual limit for prodiamine. So you will then need to switch to something else in the fall. So what I would say is nothing says you can't do it, but if it were me, I would use if you want to use prodiamine in the fall, I would use dithiopyr in the spring. Here's why. Because prodiamine by itself is not great at preventing POA as well as most people would want, right? So if you could use prodiamine in the fall, you could do an application like say late August, early September, and then you could follow it up again in December with another application of prodiamine, and that would carry you into the springtime. So I wouldn't try to get away with a single app of prodiamine in the early fall, because while it's going to work okay, you are going to have some breakthrough with poannual. So what I do and what I teach and what I've gotten good results with is to use one pre-emergent, pick one and use that in the spring, and then use a different one in the fall. What I find to be the holy grail of pre-emergence for warm season turf, the combination that I like is to use either prodiamine or dithiopyr in the spring, and then use Spectacle Flow in the fall. So something like this in the fall. It's more expensive, but the nice thing about Spectacle Flow is that as far as control for poannua, it doesn't get really much better than this for warm season grass, and it lasts longer. So whereas prodiamine, you can get 3 to 4 months of residual of coverage out of it, Spectacle Flow is like 6 months. It's a really good product as far as you can really apply it one time, say in late August, early September, and that really will carry you through into the spring. Like last year, that is what I did, and I got great results. This year, just to play with it, just to see what the differences would be, I did an application in late August, early September, and I did another one in early December. So the same amount of active ingredient, but I just split it up between 2 apps just to see what the difference would be, and it's pretty much the same. Like I don't have any POA in my lawn. I didn't have any POA in my lawn last year, and I don't have any POA in my lawn now either. So we'll see when it comes to February, March, when it warms up a little bit, if I have any issues with that. I don't anticipate it, but yeah. So I hope that helps as far as helping you understand that strictly speaking, you can use prodiamine in the spring and in the fall. It's just not going to be as effective, in my opinion, because you're not going to be able to apply enough of it to get a great result in the as far as preventing the weed that you're trying to control, like POA specifically in the fall. It's not going to be great for that if you only do one app. All right. So hope that helps, sir. Great question. Thank you so much. Hopefully you've entered as for an opportunity to win a t-shirt. You know what? Let's get going. Let's get this going. You guys are not really here to hear me jibber jabber. You're here for the free stuff, right? So the way this is going to work, and guys, we are at 22 minutes into the live stream. So if you want to win, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys 8 more minutes. So it's at 30 minutes after the hour. So it's 7:30 Eastern. We'll start the drawing, because what happens is once I start it, the software is going to like read all the comments, and then that's going to lock it in. So if you try and join after that, you're not gonna it's not gonna see your comment, right? So I'm gonna give you guys 8 minutes. If you have any friends, family, here's the thing, guys. I'm a pen tester. I'm a hacker. So I'm completely fine with you trying to game this. If you got like a neighbor next door, a friend next door, and you guys are trying to increase your odds by having them enter, it's on you, no problem. But I'm just saying that in 7 minutes now, we're gonna lock it off, and then whoever's entered is who's entered, and then we're gonna start doing our drawing. So you guys can work something out saying, hey, if I win, I get to wear the t-shirt on Wednesday, and you get to wear the t-shirt on the weekend. However you guys want to work that out. All right, so a few more minutes, and then we're gonna do that. We'll switch to the software and do our first drawing for the first t-shirt. So if you have any friends or anyone that you want to give the opportunity to try and win some free stuff, you got 6 minutes and counting to tell them. All right, next up we have Stan Slanted. It's a cool name. Saying happy Friday, Ron. Thanks for coming to hang out, Stan Slanted. I appreciate it. Thanks. That's a cool name. I don't remember seeing your name before. So if you're new, welcome. Next up we have Neil White saying happy New Year. Happy New Year, Neil. And then Terrence Stamp saying good evening, Ron. Where's my stuff? LOL. You've been hanging out with LG. You notice the feeling of entitlement, like almost like, it's owed to him. That's very LG-ish, I have to tell you. Very LG-ish. Next up, we got Larry saying, happy last Friday of 2023, Ron and chat. And then next up, we got is Always Baked, Never Fried, saying, thanks to you, Ron, and all the inspiration by the fellow lawn enthusiasts. Still consider myself a rookie, but 2024 will be a lawn game changer. Well, here's the thing, man. If you've been following the content and watching the channel, you know more about lawn care, about keeping weeds out of your lawn, about fertilizing, more so than the average bear, that your results should be better than the competition in your neighborhood. So you don't have to absolutely be the best. You just got to be better than the people you're competing against, right? Whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning, right? Said Vin Diesel. Winning's winning, or actually say Dominic Toretto. Winning is winning. So all you have to do is know more than the other guy. That's all it really takes. Michael Anger is up next, just saying Riley, okay. And then we got No Name in the house. He says, hey, Ron and fellow lawn enthusiasts. Looking forward to some great lawn chat. Let's hit that like button and celebrate with LG. Let's do that, guys. If you've not hit the like button, we got 100 folks or so here in the live stream so far. We're about to start the drawing. Hit that like button so you have, it's a great way for you to support the channel. It costs you nothing to do. And I would really, really most appreciate it. Would really appreciate it. All right, next up we got Mr. Robert Rainey, guys. So on the topic of like lawn transformations, right? So some of you guys may have asked the question, in the fall when it comes to Bermuda grass, folks like to overseed with rye, try to keep the lawn green. And you say, is it really worth it? Is the juice really worth the squeeze? Like, what kind of results could I get if I decided that I were going to overseed my Bermuda grass in, August time frame with rye, try and keep it green throughout the fall and winter months? Well, Robert did that, and what's cool is because of the kind of overachiever he is, he sent me a picture showing his lawn today, last year, and then a picture as it sits now. So a picture from a year ago and a picture today. So the picture from last year is with it not being overseeded, just dormant, like how my lawn and how most Bermuda grass lawns look, and then the other picture is with it being with the ryegrass overseed. So I'll show you guys that now if I can find it. Here we go. All right, cool. So this is last year, which again, I see nothing wrong with that. Yes, I know a lot of you guys in the north that have green grass all the time saying, hey, what's wrong with you guys? You're like mowing dead grass. It's not dead, it's just dormant. All right. So like put some respect in the Bermuda grass's name. So this is last year, same time last year, and this is now. So same lawn a year ago, no overseed, and the lawn today with an overseed. So if having your grass look like that in December is something that means something to you, then, August 2024, maybe consider doing a ryegrass overseed, because Robert has shown that it produces some pretty incredible results. I'm going to stay tuned and, with Robert to see, what his feelings are once he has to try and get rid of it in Marchish, April timeframe. But you can't argue with those results, man. I mean, as far as the color goes, that is clean. Green is definitely better than brown. Thanks for saying that, Robert. I really do appreciate it. All right, next up we got Brian Tanner. He says, if sand doesn't have any nutrient value, why do you use it for leveling? I know you can get it with half compost and sand to build up the soil. Excellent question, Brian. So the thing with sand is sand adds structure. So if you use like topsoil or compost, while those are good for putting organic material and adding nutrient to the soil, they break down over time, whereas sand really doesn't, or not nearly at the rate that more organic materials do. So using a blend of 70% sand and 30% compost allows you to use the sand aspect of it to smooth out undulations, dips in the lawn, and then the 30% compost helps to feed the soil. So if you're trying to level, having some sand in there is beneficial because that's going to help the lawn maintain that level that you put in, whereas a compost or topsoil is not going to do as good of a job. So that's why we use sand when leveling is the goal. If you don't really care about leveling and all you're looking at is to increase the amount of organic material, you can absolutely top dress with strictly compost, and that would be fine, but it's not the best medium for leveling and having the work that you do last over an extended period of time. So hope that helps. That is why we do it. That's why golf courses do it. Another benefit to sand for leveling as well is that, and it's not really a benefit of leveling, but sand helps with drainage. So as far as if you have a lawn that whenever it rains, water stays on the surface, if you introduce some sand to it when you do your top dressing, it's also going to help pull water away from the surface much better than like just like a compost will. Like I say this time and time again, it's not like a broken record at this point, but one of the biggest benefits that I didn't anticipate that I got out of top dressing my lawn wasn't the fact that it looks smooth like a golf course, is that when I get heavy rain, the lawn drains so much better after being top dressed with a nice 70-30 blend. So hope that helps, sir. It's an excellent question. If your goal is to level, I absolutely would ensure that you have some sand in the blend. 50% is okay. I like a 70-30 if leveling is your main goal. But yeah, hope that helps answer your question and help it make sense as to why sand is an important component if leveling is what you're after. All right, guys, gals, we are at 30 after the hour. Let's get this party started. So I'm going to move over to our random YouTube comment selection. Let me get you off here, Brian. So let me save that. Let me copy this again and paste it. Refresh here really quick. All right, so this is the URL for the live stream for last week's. Oh man, what did I do? For last week's show, and I totally messed this up. So hang on, I'm gonna have to get the URL again. Hang on one second. We build it while we fly, right? Hang on one second. I'm gonna know this. So I got that. But here's the thing, guys. Like I'm gonna give, and I need this link because this tool is very specific about the format of the URL. All right, cool. All right, so again, you got like 5 seconds here before I hit this because once I do, it's locked in. So we're gonna fetch, include replies. We're not gonna allow duplicates, and we have counting 106 folks that are vying for some free swag. So the first thing we're giving away again is the Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirt, courtesy of Miramichi Green, and our winner is Jacob Madrid 4387. Jacob, if you're present, please come to the DJ booth. So let me put you down here, Jacob Madrid 4387. And now, guys and gals, don't let your hearts be troubled because Jacob might not be here. He may have just put his name down, but he didn't, he got busy, went to a New Year's, Friday night party, getting ready for New Year's, and he might not show up. So Jacob, if you are here, sir, we will switch back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're going to give you 10 minutes to say, I'm here, because if you're not, then we'll go back and we'll draw again. All right, so Jacob is our first winner of the Miramichi Green t-shirt. We'll give it a few minutes to see if he'll pop back in here. All right, moving on. We have Mr. Oliver Rittam is in the house. Oliver's up next, and he says, "Good evening, Ron. Thanks for your help with the Yard Mastery Backpack Sprayer straps. I received the upgraded replacements, nicer padding. Happy New Year." Awesome, Oliver. Love to hear that. Oliver had a little issue with his sprayer. His one of his straps broke, so we took care of him, got him some new straps, and they've made some revisions to make them even better, more padded, more comfy when you're out there spraying your pre-emergent, your carbon kit, or your primo. You want to make sure you're comfortable while you're doing that. So there's always ways. They're always looking for ways to improve the sprayer, and it sounds like you got the upgraded straps. Nice. All right, next up, we have Tom Hoffenkamp. He says, "Quick question: do you pause using BioSpectrum in the winter? I'm planning to use it bi-weekly all winter as it doesn't freeze here in SoCal. I do, Tom, primarily because I don't typically spray the liquids on my lawn when the lawn is completely dormant. You can, but I don't do it. To answer your question, can you use BioSpectrum if you're in SoCal when it's winter? Yes, absolutely. If you're still out there mowing your grass occasionally, if you're still doing other biostimulants, you're doing other inputs to the soil, you can absolutely still use BioSpectrum. I don't, mainly because when I apply BioSpectrum, I mix it along with the carbon kit. So I'm spraying it along with NutriKelp and Release 901C, but there's nothing wrong with using it in the wintertime if you're somewhere where it doesn't get that cold and ground never freezes, your lawn never fully checks out, then yes, you can absolutely use BioSpectrum and the other liquid biostimulants for that matter without issue. So I hope that helps. It's a great question. Again, I don't, because where I live, it does get cold enough for the lawn to completely check out and go dormant. So I wait till February-ish before I start spraying the carbon kit again. It's a good question. With you being in the state of California and southern SoCal, you're good to go. Let me see. I don't see him. Do you guys see Jacob? I don't see Jacob. Again, Jacob, if you're present, you must come to the DJ booth. We need you. You only got a few more minutes before we'll have to draw again. And look at you guys. I can feel it. I can feel you guys in the chat. You're like, draw. He's not here. He's not dedicated. He lost his chance. Go. Forget him. I know how you guys are. You're a ruthless little bunch. We're gonna do another question here really quick, and then we may have to draw again because I don't see him. I don't see Jacob. All right, next up is Jason Harrison. He says, "Evening, friends. Leaving St. Thomas, headed for St. Martin. Dude, that's my old stomping grounds. St. Martin is literally 35-ish miles from where I grew up." He says, "Have a wonderful show and an even better weekend." Yeah, so St. Martin is part of, I don't know if it's part of the Dutch Antilles anymore. I think they're kind of independent now. But St. Martin is like two countries in one. It was Dutch, and then St. Martin, the French side, you have two countries on one island. But if you get in St. Martin, Jason, and you look south, you'll see a big rock sticking out of the ocean. That's Saba. And then to the left of that big rock, you may or may not be able to make out on a clear day, you'll see like a silhouette of a volcano in the background, further from Saba, and that's St. Eustatius. And that's where I grew up. That's the island that I hail from. That's where my parents still are. So it's a small world. Yeah, enjoy your time there. St. Martin's is a fun place. It's almost like, if you could think of Vegas in the Caribbean, that's what St. Martin, or at least the Dutch side, is like. It's really developed, and it's a fun time. All right, next up is C. Pims. We're gonna do Colin real quick, and if we don't see Jacob, we're gonna draw again. All right, Colin's up next. He says, "What's happening, Ron? I hope you had a good Christmas and are ready for a new year." It was good. It's good, quiet, and I am ready. I'm ready for 2024 to get here so we can get rolling. Should be a fun time working in the lawn, getting fun emails from you guys on how your lawns are improving. So looking forward to the growing season going. All right, Jacob, I'm sorry, man. I don't know if you're here or not, but I don't. There's no. Let me see. Let me check in the chat here one last time. One more. Let's say in Georgia sometime. One more again. Let's see here. Do you guys see Jacob? Oh yeah, there he is. Jacob, Ron, I'm here. Okay, got you. Cool. So he's like, I'm here. He's here. I'm here. I see him. He made 3 comments. Oh, okay, Jacob. So you're here. So if you don't mind, sir, send me an email. He's like holding his breath. He's like, why can't he see me? Hackers, they're something's going on. All right, so Jake, if you don't mind, send me an email. Where's my email address? Here. I don't know why I have this all the way down here. So here you go. To ron@golfcourselawn.com saying, hey, Ron, I won. Send me my free shirt. Tell me how to get it, and I'll send you an email saying, go here to get your free shirt, Jacob. So congrats. Again, Ron at Golf Course Lawn. Jacob, send it to me. And we'll get you taken care of. All right. So yeah, sorry about that. I was on the wrong chat. That's why I didn't see your comment right away. You're probably like, man, this is some bleep 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 bleep. I'm here and I'm not gonna get my shirt. All right, so we got you covered. Next up is Larry. Larry says, I need to order more fertilizer. Would you suggest the 12-0-24 again for my 2.5-month young fescue? Yeah, Larry, so you can have two options. If it were me, I'll show you here. If it were me, I would do one of two. So you can either do the 12-0-24, great option, or you could use Humic Max. Either one of these two are going to be a good result. Humic Max or the Stress 12-0-24. It's a cooler time of year. If it were me, Larry, I would do this again. I would do the Stress 12-0-24 again. I would roll with this. And then once springtime rolls around, you can, so let's say Marchish, then you could go to Humic Max. All right. So I would say go with the Stress 12-0-24 and then go to Humic Max, a month or two from now at that point. So yeah, that would be my recommendation. Final answer, in case you need a link to get to the 12-0-24, which I'm pretty sure you already have, but if you don't have it, you say, hey, help me out. I'm not wanting to have to type and do all this hard work. There you go. It's in the chat now. And for any of you guys that are on Facebook, there it is. There's a link to getting the fertilizer that Larry was asking about. All right, next up is Archie Amos. He says, Ron, I know this might be outside of your preview, but any updates from Real Rollers on the Revolution 26? Added features. Can't wait to get my hands on mine. No, here's the thing. I mean, Alex and I got to see that we were like the first people outside of Real Rollers to really see and get to use the mower. But that's really the extent of it. I mean, I know about a couple other features that are being added that no one has really seen that I think you guys are going to like. But yeah, that's the extent of it. It's not really my place to say, hey, it's going to have, like, I don't know, whatever. It's gonna come in hot pink. It's not gonna come in hot pink. I'm not gonna. If you want to know, ask Lee or ask the other team members there at Real Rollers. Reach out to them, and they'll be able to tell you any updates as far as the mower and anything that they want you guys to know about it. I'm sure they're gonna be releasing those details soon, but the little that I do know, I'm not at liberty to share because they didn't ask me to. So it's cool stuff, though. I mean, it's not like stuff that's like groundbreaking that you're gonna be like, oh my god, but it's still one of those things you're gonna say, wow, that's really cool they added that because it makes sense. It's gonna make things better. So yeah. All right. So next up is Greg Lyon. He says, I just don't understand. I'm trying to say it with some frustration. I just don't understand. I have put pre-emergent down once again on time, and I have POA and annual all over my yard. At least it put some green in my yard. Happy New Year. Okay, Greg, so give us some details. Which pre-emergent did you apply? When did you apply it? If you applied strictly prodiamine, then you getting a bit of breakthrough with POA it's just kind of par for the course. Again, prodiamine is a good pre-emergent, but it by itself is not awesome at keeping your lawn, clean of poannual. If you really want that, and you've got, I'm not sure what kind of grass you have. It looks kind of like, could be Bermuda. I'm not sure what it is. But if you have warm season turf, then really you got two options. You can go with Spectacle Flow, which is what I recommend because it's just one product, easy. You're not buying a bunch of different things. Or you can use a combination of prodiamine, simazine, and imazaquin. So in brand names, it would be Barricade for prodiamine, Princep for the simazine, and then Image for the imazaquin. And you can blend those, and that will make kind of like a poor man's, Spectacle Flow that is pretty close as far as control. It doesn't last as long, but as far as control for POA, it does a pretty good job. But if you don't want poannua in your lawn and you got warm season grass, this is what you really got to use. It just doesn't really get any better than Spectacle. It really is that good. It's expensive, but it's expensive for a reason. And frankly, that one bottle, like this one 18-ounce bottle treats like 3 acres. So you've got years and years worth of product. And what I tell people to do is, if you have a friend or family or cousin or someone that you actually like, and they also are into taking care of their lawns, you can buy one of those and you guys can split it. They can get half of it and you can get half of it, and that kind of helps absorb the cost a bit. But if you want your lawn to be POA free, Spectacle. That's what I would say. But if you can give me some more details, we can revisit it and I can see if I can help you out some more. Alrighty, does that work? All right, next up is John Stewart. John Stewart's in the house, and he says, "Hey, Ron, happy 2024. Looking forward to the mowing season. I just ordered Essential G from your store, received it today, and will apply it next week. I like it." Awesome, John. Thank you for the support. And Essential G, that's one thing you can be doing this time of year. Sometimes you guys that have warm season turf, where you're not out there fertilizing, you're saying, hey, what can I be doing now to help get my lawn, my soil, improve the quality of it, with the upcoming season? And a granular biostimulant like Essential G is a great option. You got compost, biochar, humate, some reclaimed coffee grounds, some silica. It's got all the good stuff, and you can apply it now if you want to, as long as you live somewhere where the ground does not freeze. You can absolutely do it. So great stuff, John. Thanks for the support, and glad to hear that the Essential G made it to you in a timely manner. Gene is up next. He says, "Greetings, Ron. I am in Central Florida, and every 14 days I still been mowing. Lucky you. I've always wondered if it's a waste of time and money to apply iron at this time of year." No, it's not. I mean, in your case, you're still mowing, so the lawn is still actively growing, albeit a little bit slower. So if your lawn is growing, you can feed it. You can still feed it nitrogen. You can still feed it if it needs it, phosphorus, potassium. You can still feed it the full gamut of nutrient. So to answer your question, no, it is not a waste of time and money to apply iron this time of year if the turf is still actively growing and you're still mowing it. It's not a waste at all. Not a waste. All right, so I think, guys, is it time for us to do another drawing? we're probably getting close. I don't want to keep you guys out too late. I realize I'm already asking a lot. It's like New Year's Eve-ish weekend, and you guys are having to be on here trying to get your free swag, and I don't want to keep you guys out too late. So we'll move on to the next one, another drawing here in a few minutes. Next up is Mark Luna. He says, "Hello, Ron. Quick question. Does it benefit lawns to use hydrochain or foreplay this time of year?" Yes, it depends on where you are, Mark. It depends on where in the country you are. So if you're in Florida, someone like Gene, where your lawn is still growing, and yes, you can use hydrochain. You can use a moisture manager. Where they really shine, in my opinion, is when you're getting when your lawn's going to be being exposed to higher temperatures, right? So I don't apply a moisture manager this time of year. I start in April, and then I do it every 60 days, every 2 months, all throughout the growing season. So, because the idea behind it is that, whenever summer heat hits, the moisture manager is going to help the soil retain a bit more moisture and make that available to the plant root. So, as far as the lawn being more susceptible to heat stress, it's going to be less so. In Florida this time of year, you guys, well, all times of year, you guys get rain all the time, but especially now where the high temperature is not anywhere near as what it's going to be in the summertime. While you could use hydrochain or foreplay, it's not a time of year where I think that you're going to really see a lot of the benefit of it. You know what I mean? Like, it really shines when temperatures are higher, and to help prevent like localized dry spot, help just the salon resisting heat stress, and you just don't really have that this time of year. You know what I mean? So can you do it? Yes. Is it ideal or the best use of your money? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I hope that helps, sir. It's a great question. Actually, I haven't had that one before, but I mean, I don't want you guys to use product or spend money unnecessarily. So I honestly would hold off until like springtime and then introduce it. Now, you didn't ask this, but the thing I would say about hydrochated foreplay is a mistake that people make without using that product is they wait till it's like July and then start using it. I would not do it that way. As soon as the lawn comes out of dormancy, it's actively growing, and life's good. You're starting your trek to dominate the neighborhood. I would introduce the moisture manager. So March, April timeframe is when you want to do it. Kind of like Primo, right? Kind of like a growth regulator. While growth regulator isn't if all you care about is it slowing down how quickly the turf grows. For most people, like if you're in Northeast Georgia, not strictly necessary till you start getting into like the June-ish timeframe when it gets hot and Bermuda just really starts growing like wildfire. but I still introduce it to the plant in April at lower rates and just keep it in the plant the entire season. It helps with disease resistance. It helps the turf it helps the grass be a bit more hardy. And as far as preventing, like say, tip burn or any yellowing, like you don't have that problem if you introduce it sooner. So with Hydrotain and Foreplay, you want the moisture manager in the soil prior to the stressful conditions arriving. So hope that helps. You didn't ask that part of it, but I want to, why not, share some information that you might find that's useful as far as those products. Okay, next up is Ravi Patel. Is it too late to join the giveaway? Not really. I mean, well, I guess now it is, but if you entered, before 7:30, then you're good to go. So I told you how to do it. I put the link in the chat. So at this point, let's move on and let's do it again. Let's see who is going to win our next prize, which is going to be a My Soil test kit. Guys, this is literally, even if you don't win, this is literally the best $30 you can spend in lawn care, in my opinion. As far as knowing, what's the answers to the test, as far as knowing what fertilizer is the best fit for your particular lawn, this is going to tell you that. Something else before we do the drawing, I'll show you really quick. I promise. Show real quick this one last thing, and we'll move on to the drawing. Is something that MySoil recently added, right? So if you were to go with a MySoil test kit, you get access to their portal, which looks like this. And something they recently added, I was on a call with them and they showed me this, and I was like, guys, you guys thought of everything. This is pretty awesome. It's kind of a nice value add. Is if you look here are all MySoil tests from forever, right? But something they recently added is the ability, let me move this out of the way real quick so you can see, is the ability, because when you log in and you put your information in here, you put in your zip code, and now they've added the current 5-day soil, the current soil temperature, 5-day average for your particular zip code, which is really nice, right? So instead of you having to go out and Google and search and find it, I think Syngenta has a site that does it as well too, but they've added that to the portal. So in my case, here in Georgia, where it doesn't get crazy cold all the time, the 5-day soil average is 54 degrees, right? Now, if this were February timeframe, I'd be panicking and I want to get my pre-emergent out. Given that I've still got plenty of residual from Spectacle, I'm good to go. But as far as an easy way to figure out what the average 5-day soil temp is in your area, that is something you can now find in the MySoil dashboard, free of charge. It's something they just added here recently, which is kind of cool. So yeah, for those of you guys that are looking in the springtime to figure out, hey, is it time for me to do my pre-emergent? Get a soil test, do it now. You'll get access to this portal, and another value add is you get your average soil temps. Okay, let's move on to our next drawing. Again, this one is going to be the MySoil test kit. So let's move over here to our random comment selector. Jacob, you won. Congratulations again, sir. Let me get my notes here, get ready to enter. Our winner of the MySoil test kit is, we're picking now, is Rebecca with a CUH_22. Rebecca 22, are you present? If you are, please come to the DJ booth to claim your prize. You got 5-ish minutes or so to let me know that you're here. And so you can win your very own, courtesy of the folks at MySoil, your soil test kit. So let me make a note here and put you here, Rebecca with 22, Rebecca 22. We'll give you a few minutes here to say, hey, I'm here. I'm looking here in the chat. I've got it up now. And if you're here, let me know, and you'll win a soil test kit. All right, so let's move back to our main screen. Congrats on winning, Rebecca, assuming that you're here. We'll keep an eye out. Our next comment is from Mr. Tom Hoffenkamp. Mr. Tom Hoffenkamp's in the live stream, and he says, love that bling. Celsius purchase netted me that fine bit of kit. The Celsius works extremely well, but the iridescent sticker was the hook. Man, I tell you, man, you can't beat this. I tell you, these are sweet. And I would put these in more products that we ship, but these are more expensive. They're over double what these cost. So I mean, bling costs, right? So I can't just put this in everything. But I'm glad you got your some, Tom, and I appreciate you representing again for the store, and good stuff. All right, next up we have Michael Robertson has a question. He says, what post-emergent would you use in a newly seeded / sodded lawn? Great question, Michael. It depends. What kind of grass? What kind of grass do you have? So if you have warm season grass, like Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, for broadleaf weed control, I would use a herbicide called Celsius. And for sedges and Poanua, I would use a herbicide called Certainty. Those are both post-emergent herbicides, so I'll show you really quick here. If you go to the Golf Course Lawn Store, you go to Shop, and then go to Weed Killer. So for warm season grass, Celsius for broadleaf weeds, Certainty for sedges. If you want to save yourself some time and money and get like the full Monty, Celsius, Certainty, some surfactant and marker dye, pick up the Celsius Certainty herbicide kit, and that gives you everything you need to control weeds from a post-emergent perspective anyway, in warm season turf, most common weeds anyway. If you have cool season turf, so fescue, ryegrass, Kentucky bluegrass, then I would say tenacity. And if you have sedges, you can go with Sedgehammer. Another option, if you have cool season turf for broadleaf control, is a product called Triad. So this guy here, Triad Select, is another good broadleaf herbicide that you can use as well. But I'm more a fan of Tenacity and Sedgehammer, and you can get those as well in a herbicide kit with Tenacity, Sedgehammer, marker dye, and surfactant. So it really depends as far as what kind of grass you have. Again, just to recap again, if you have warm season turf, Celsius for broadleafs, Certainty for sedges and Poanua. And if you have cool season turf, then Tenacity for broadleafs, and as you're kind of a good catch-all. You can also use Triad Select or any three-way, anything with 2,4-D dicamba in it. So Triad Select is a good option. And then for sedge control in cool season turf, go with Sedgehammer. As far as Poanua control in cool season grass, there's not a lot of great options for that aren't like really expensive. So the best way to keep POA out of cool season turf is to prevent it in the first place. So you don't have to control it after the fact. So I'll send you a link here as far as where you can pick all that up depending on the kind of grass that you have. And so you'll all be good to go. So at Michael Robertson, Michael Robertson, and herbicide kits are here. Cool. So you're good to go. So you got everything you need. Did Rebecca show up, guys? You guys were like leading the charge for Jacob. I don't see any of you guys saying Rebecca's here. Rebecca's here. Rebecca, I think you have missed out. I think we're gonna have to draw again. So let's go back. Let's go back to the portal. Let's go back to our handy dandy random selector tool. So Rebecca, I'm gonna look one last time. I don't see her, and I don't see any of you guys saying that she's here. So we'll do it again. All right. So again, we're drawing for the My Soil test kit. Rebecca, you're not here, so we're gonna have to draw again. And our winner is Jose A. 1981. Jose A, are you here? Please come to the DJ booth to claim your prize. Jose A, if you're here, say I'm here, and I will tell you how to claim your soil test kit. So make a note here, Jose A, maybe your birth year, born in 1981. We'll give it a few minutes. In the meantime, we'll come back to the live stream and see any other questions or comments that folks have. Jose A, again, Jose A. I'll show you guys one more time who should be, that's what I'm looking for. At Jose A. If you're here, let me know. All right, and you said, I'm here, my friend. I see you. Okay, cool. So Jose is here. Good stuff. Let's go. All right, Jose. So as always, just like I said, send me an email here to ron@golfcourselawn.com. ron@golfcourselawn.com. Send me an email right here, and I will tell you with your address. So say, hey, this is Jose A, and I won. Can I please have my soil test kit? And here's the address of where to send it to, and I will ensure that it gets sent to you. Send me an email, please, with your details, your direction, where you are, and we'll get you all taken care of. Congrats on winning, man. Hold on, guys and gals. There's still more to come. We still have some more t-shirts, some more soil test kits, and we have the carbon kit to give away. All right, next up is K-Dog. K-Dog, and you know what? Actually, I'm going to make a note of Michael's comment because that was a good question. We may turn that into a short. Why not? Why not? I think it was around this time. I think this was correct. So there we go. All right, next up is K-Dog. He says, I use MSG turf that kept the POA out of my yard. Okay, K-Dog. I'm glad to hear that worked for you. Next up, we got Mr. Alexander Lee, the man, the myth, the legend in the house. Guys, the person, the guy that's part of and that helped make the Fix My Ugly Lawn series possible is Alex, and a good buddy of mine. And glad that he's, taking some time out of his Friday when he could be off doing other things and coming by to say hey. All right, and then next we have Stephen Thompson in the house. He says, happy Friday, Ron. Looking forward to a good stream and hopefully winning something. Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully you did. Hopefully you win something. We got Shauna here on Instagram saying, did I miss it? Did I win? You did not win, Shauna. You did not miss it. I think you've already entered, so you got to come over to YouTube to let me know that you're here, and we'll keep drawing. We've only done a t-shirt and a soil test kit, so there's still a chance for you to win another t-shirt, another t-shirt, a soil test kit, another t-shirt, and then a carbon kit. That's 6 things. We may have to do one more because I kind of like prime numbers. We may have to end up with 7. We may have to add one more thing till we get to 7 items being given away instead of just the 6. Because right now I just got the 6. We've done 2 of the ones that I plan to do. So, all right. Moving on is Mark Romano. He says, never mind me shipping blows. What do you mean? Oh, you never know, man. I mean, if you win, you win. If you win, we'll get it out to you. We'll get you taken care of. Don't you worry. Let not your heart be troubled. We'll make sure you get your swag. Next up, we got Chris Napoli saying, happy Friday. What's going on, Chris? Thanks for coming and hang out in the live stream. Morgan Whitson saying, hey, Ron. What's going on, Morgan? And then Cooper asked the question of Robert. Robert's going to have to answer this. He says, how often does Robert have to mow his beautiful ryegrass in the winter? What height? Robert, inquiring minds want to know, how often are you out there mowing? And, what height are you keeping it at? If you can also throw in a prism gauge shot no, I'm just messing with you. If you're here, Robert, and you want to answer Cooper's question, that would be great. If I had to guess, I'd want to say around 3/4 of an inch, Cooper. I would guess 0.75 inches. And I don't know how often he's mowing it. I'd imagine a couple times per week. But if he's here, he will answer your question. All right, Mark Romano says, you guys are savages, saying he's here. Mark's saying, try putting on some glasses. I was in the wrong, I have a couple different chats going, man, so I was in the wrong one. We got it sorted out, Mark. You have to be so savage. Jeez. All right, next up is Chris Napoli. He says, a couple of weeks ago, you advised me to plug my Bermuda lawn after tree removal. What time in the season should I do that, and can I still use Primo Max? Excellent question, Chris. So if you're going to do plugging of your lawn, I would wait until the lawn is actively growing. So in the Marchish timeframe, when the Bermuda is coming out of dormancy, and we're starting to get some heat and temperature starting to grow, you can plug the lawn. You plug the lawn then. That's going to improve the chances of the plugs taking root and growing out and spreading nicely. And as far as can you still use Primo Max? Absolutely, you can still use Primo. The thing I would say is, let's say you plug the lawn in March. You could just start introducing Primo late April, May timeframe. I mean, what Primo does do is it helps. It suppresses top growth. It suppresses gibberellic acid synthesis, which prevents the grass from growing tall, which coupled with regular mowing is going to promote it spreading laterally. So it's going to help. It's going to help with filling in. So yes, you can still absolutely use Primo if you plug your lawn. I would just give it. I would wait until like late April / early May timeframe before you introduce that to the plant. It's a great idea. No problems with doing that at all. As far as how I would recommend going about using the Primo Max is to do split apps. So if you look at the label, Syngenta will advise, the rates that they have are for you, assume that you're applying it pretty much once per month. And I find you will get better results. You get better results with none of the negatives by taking whatever the monthly rate is for your grass type. For Bermuda, it's going to be 1/4 ounce per 1,000 square feet, and dividing that in half. So what that means is if you have the mythical 4,000 square foot lawn, which makes it easy because it makes it easy for me to do the math for this for you. If you were doing the full app rate, right, just once per month, you would spray 1 ounce of Primo over the 4,000 square feet, right? Because it's 0.25 times 4, that covers the 4,000 square feet. What I would say is don't do that. Instead, take the monthly rate. So take that 1 ounce of Primo. I think I've got a bottle of Primo here. Take that 1 ounce of Primo and cut that in half. So instead of spraying 1 ounce all in one go, you're going to spray half an ounce. You can see they've got a handy measuring cup built in there. You're going to spray this amount, so 0.5 fluid ounces of Primo Max on the first of the month, and then again 2 weeks later. And you're just going to keep doing that every 2 weeks. You're going to be spraying the same thing, half an ounce over 4,000 square feet, 4 gallons of water. You can do that every 2 weeks, and what that's going to do is going to prevent tip burn. You're going to get great regulation. You get all the benefits of spraying it once per month you get all the benefits with really none of the negatives. The only downside, if you want to consider it a downside, is you have to be out there twice per month spraying your lawn versus once per month. But if you're someone that's using growth regulator, going out twice per month is probably not that big of a deal. So I hope that helps. As far as your questions on can you use Primo after you've plugged your lawn? Yes, and I gave you some guidance as far as how I would go about doing it. If you want some additional tips, here on the Golf Course Lawn Store under resources and under blog, we have a blog post on the topic of plant growth regulator that I think is now on page 3 that will help. That talks about how plant growth regulator can help your lawn be thicker and greener. Talks all about PGRs, how they work, why they're awesome. There's videos embedded that talk about how it shows me mixing it, how I like to do it. But really, section 3, this area down here is where a lot of the magic is. And it pretty much talks about what I just explained to you about how to prevent tip burn and the technique of dividing the monthly rate in half and spraying it every couple of weeks. So that's this section. And if you go down a little bit more to make it even easier for you guys, I took the monthly application rates for the most common grass types on the label and cut those in half and pretty much gave you the rates of what you would use if you're spraying it every 2 weeks. So it's a lot of good info in here on Primo. It's a good resource just to consult if you decide to go that route. So I will get a link to this for you as well, and I'll paste it in the chat so you will have that whenever you decide to start spraying your growth regulator. So at Chris Napoli, there he is. Primo, or I should say plant growth regulator blog, plant PGR blog. There you go. Cool. All right, so you're all covered. All right, let's move on to our next one. You guys ready for another drawing? Should I do another question or do another drawing? Draw something at someone else. Should we get a t-shirt or should we? Let's do one more question, then we'll do a t-shirt. How about that? All right, Quinn Godfrey's up next. He says, good evening, Ron. My grass has turned dormant this past month. The weeds have popped up this past week. Best option to get rid of weeds. Well, I'm sorry to hear that your lawn is having weeds break through. The fact that you said your lawn is dormant, I'm assuming that you have warm season grass, so Bermuda, Zoysia, St. Augustine, something along those lines. So I'm going to answer this question as if you have warm season turf. If you have warm season grass, there are 2 herbicides that I tend to recommend for controlling weeds in warm season turf, and we'll talk about each one of those really quickly. If it's broadleaf weeds, so if you have like clover, henbit, if you have like clover, henbit, those are common ones around this time of year, you could use a broadleaf herbicide called Celsius. This is an excellent herbicide because it controls weeds while minimizing damage to your grass. Your lawn's dormant, so it's not going to happen. But even when temperatures are really high, so say you're in summertime, you can still use Celsius with little chance of injury to your turf grass, which is why I recommend it so much. If you have sedges, which you wouldn't have this time of year, or if you have poanua, then you can use Certainty. So Certainty, I'll show you what sedges look like. If we move here through the pictures, if you have a weed in your lawn that looks like that, so it's nice, your lawn's all dormant, but you got this really bright green tuft of grass with like white seed heads in the middle, what you have is the dreaded poanua. But fear not, Certainty will take care of that. So if that's what you got, I would go with this. And if you have, again, broadleaf weeds, then you would go with Celsius. If you want to save time and money and have the combination to be able to take care of both now and over the summer, you can get the Celsius Certainty herbicide kit, which saves you time and money because it contains Celsius, certainty, surfactant, and marker dye, and it costs less than buying them individually. So I hope that helps, Quinn, as far as that goes. Again, I answered your question as if you have warm season grass because you said your lawn's going dormant. So I think that's probably what we're dealing with here. If you got cool season grass, then tenacity or a three-way like triad, or a for sedges, which you wouldn't have this time of year, you could use like a sedge hammer. So Quinn, this is what I recommend. You can find the herbicides I was talking about and the kit there. Okay, that was a good one. Let's give away some more stuff. Let me make a note real quick of Quinn's question. Quinn Godfrey, and was that one? Okay, cool. Let's give away another t-shirt. So our next drawing is for one of these, the highly coveted Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirts, courtesy of the nice folks at Miramichi Green. So let's go over to our comment picker and let's see who the next winner is going to be. All right, so Jose A was our winner of the soil test kit. Now we're doing a t-shirt, and our winner from a Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirt is, get Jose off here and pick a winner, Rick B. At Rick B. Rick B, are you present? If so, please come to the DJ booth to claim your t-shirt. Come to claim your t-shirt. I'm gonna make a note here. Rick B, at Rick B, got you covered here. So Rick, we're gonna give you a few minutes here to chime in and say, hey, I'm here. Do not give my t-shirt away. Please, please don't give my t-shirt away. So if you're here, I'm gonna give you a few minutes and I'll go back and take some more questions and comments. Be sure to pop in and just say I'm here, and then I'll tell you how to get your free swag, right? All right, so next up we have all you guys saying he's here. Michael Anger says, Ron may need glasses. I actually do need to, I do need glasses. I actually need to wear them, but I don't. So you know what it is? I do have, in my, let's see, I'm left eye dominant. My left eye vision is great. My right eye, not as good. So when I went to my optometrist, I've had glasses before in the past, and what he told me, he says, there's a couple things you can do. He says, like, what's going on in your right eye is so slight that some exercises you can do is you can get like a pencil, like with writing on it, and hold it out at arm's length and focus on the pencil, and then focus on something. Don't move your head. Focus on read the text on the pencil, and then focus on something in the distance, and with some text, and read that, and then focus back to the pencil. So it's like an exercise you can do to help exercise the eye, and it'll push off how quickly, or it'll slow down how quickly you'll have to go to glasses. So I don't do it often enough to really probably make a difference, but that's why I stopped wearing glasses where I used to all the time. And yeah, because my left eye is perfect. I got like excellent vision, like I'm left eye dominant. But yeah, okay, moving on. We got Neil White saying, oh, you guys saying he's here. Okay, I get it. He's here. I'm not trolling you guys. Here's the thing. I am reading comments. I'm helping to moderate. I got Instagram over here. It's just me. It's just me, man. It's just me and like a couple of moderators hanging out in the background, making sure we keep the crazy folk out. And I'm doing my best. So cut me a little bit of slack, please. Can you do that? It's Christmas time. It's the holiday season. Be nice. All right, next up we have Dan Lynch. Dan Lynch. Good question. He says, do you have a formula to calculate the amount of top dressing material required per 1,000 square feet? And is $53 per cubic yard a decent price for a quality 70-30 mix? Excellent question, Dan. So yes, what I would say is 1 cubic yard per 1,000 square feet is a good formula, good ratio to go with for the initial time you top dress. If you're doing subsequent top dressings, you can likely get by with a little bit less than that. But if it's the first time, having 1 cubic yard of material per 1,000 square feet is going to ensure that you have the material to get good coverage while not going too heavy. And $53 per cubic yard is a pretty good price. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that's delivered, that's really good. But if you got to pick it up, that's still a decent price for a quality 70-30 mix. And by quality, that would mean that there's not a bunch of debris, twigs, peanut shells, a bunch of garbage in there that you got to get rid of. So if it's a clean blend for $53 a cubic yard, that's legit. I would jump all over that, assuming you have a way to get it home. And you'll want to purchase it at a rate of 1 cubic yard per 1,000 square feet for your initial top dress. That's going to ensure you have enough coverage. Great question, sir. Great question. Yeah, man. If you're getting for that price, that's pretty good. It's pretty good for you said a quality 70-30 mix. I mean, what I would consider, yeah. So quality would mean no trash in it. If you can get like you're probably not going to get USGA sand for that, but if you can get like a USGA sand and then like a good compost for that price, I mean, that would be awesome. But I think it's going to be probably a bit tough. But yes, hope that helps. 1 cubic yard per 1,000 square feet for your initial top dress, and then when you're doing follow-ups, you can back it off a little bit. You can, I wouldn't say you can't cut it in half, but you can reduce it a bit for your subsequent top dressing. All right, next up we have Todd. He says, hang on, is Rick B here? I'm looking. I don't see Rick B. Jose's here. I think we're going to have to draw again, guys. I think so. I think we gave Rick B enough time, right? I answered a couple of questions, and he hasn't popped in, and nothing. So let's go back here. I don't think I missed him. I don't think I missed him. I'm looking here. I don't think I did. I don't think so. All right, nope, no Rick B. All right, so let's go back. Let's draw again. This time for another greatness from the Greatness from the Ground Up T-shirt. Rick, you have missed your shot. We are going to draw again, and our next winner is Roy B 5819. Roy B 5819. Roy B 5819. Are you present? Are you here? Because if so, you just won a T-shirt. So I'm going to put your name down here, Roy. This is not a name that Rob Yee. I'm saying Roy B. It's Rob Yee. Rob Yee 5819. So I'll make a note here real quick. And I've not seen your name before, so I don't know if you're a regular or if you are, you just kind of lurk. So we'll give you a few minutes here to say, I am present. And if you're not, we'll draw again. This happens sometimes, guys. I'm trying to give this stuff away, but folks aren't here. Just kind of slows down the process. He says, I am here. He's present. Okay, Rob Yee is here. Cool. Rob, nice. Cool. So congrats on winning the shirt. The way you can let me know as to how you can get it is send me an email here to ron@golfcourselawn.com. ron@golfcourselawn.com. Send me an email saying, hey, this is Rob Yee from the live stream. I won the T-shirt. How do I get my free swag? Kind of like that. And I'll say, here's how you do it. And you'll be good to go. Cool. So we are halfway through, guys. We got a T-shirt done, a soil test kit done, another T-shirt done. We still have more to go. We have a soil test kit, a T-shirt, and a carbon kit. At least one carbon kit, because again, it's only 6 items, and I kind of like prime numbers, so we may have to do one more. We'll see. But we got at least 3 more things. All right, but first let's take a few more questions. Next one is from Todd. He says, I have weak spots in areas closest to the house. Periodic shade each day. Do tell. Think it's time to place more soil in those areas. I typically sand level each April. When to add topsoil, Tifway 419 in North Carolina. So here's the thing, Todd. Yes, adding organic material as far as compost is a good thing. It's going to help improve the soil quality. It's going to help produce a better stand of turf grass. But you can't beat like lack of sunlight. You know what I mean? If you didn't say what kind of grass, Tifway 419, you have Bermuda. So Bermuda grass, it needs like all the sunlight, like all of it. So if you have grass that's near the house and based on the way the sun passes over your house, it gets shade, like the turf is always going to struggle there. It's always going to be a bit thinner than the areas that are further away from the house that are getting plenty of direct sunlight. You know what I mean? So can you level? Sure. Can you introduce compost as well? Sure. Are those good things? Yes. Are they going to materially improve, or make up for lack of sunlight? Not really. Not really. There's just not a way to compensate for lack of sunlight. You know what I mean? So it's shade. Bermuda grass is like mayonnaise and ice cream. They just don't go together, So if it's really bad, you may, I don't know, man. You may just have to switch to a different grass type. You can maybe something like zoysia or something in that area, that section. I mean, that's probably not ideal, but it depends on how bad it is. If it's just slightly weak, which is a little bit thinner, then just live with it and just realize that's the way it's going to be. As far as times to do that, the time the top dress is whenever the lawn is taking off and starting to, again, it's actively growing. So late April, May timeframe is a good time of year to do your top dressing. That's when I typically do it. If it's hotter, if we're having like a warmer spring, I'll do it like mid-April. But late April into May, and then all the way through really the first week or two of August, that's the window for doing top dressing in the Southeast. Gives you plenty of time for the lawn to recover, and the benefit of doing it in the late spring is it's not quite as hot, and we tend to get more rain in the springtime, which helps work the material into the soil profile and into the canopy. So it's cooler, and you get free water to water it in and to help it settle. So that's the reasons to do it earlier in the season. And if you decide that you're going to do multiple top dressings, if you start like in late April, early May, you can still squeeze another one in June. You could even do a third one late July, early August if you want to. So that's another reason why getting it done earlier in the season gives you time to address any problem areas that didn't quite work out as well as you might like from the initial top dress, if that makes sense. All right, next up we have Shortgrass Living is in the house. Shortgrass Living, you know what? Shortgrass Living's in the house. He says, curious, what would be a good option for a flower bed border that gives a similar appearance and the ability to mow like a live edge? Afraid of keeping up the live edge may be too much time. Okay, yeah. So what I did, Shortgrass Living, I too have struggled with your dilemma. And instead of having like an actual live edge, I went with pavers. So they're like a 6 or they're probably 8 inch, like an 8 inch by 8 inch paver. Like putting those in between the grass, the turf, and then your flower or mulch bed, I think is a great way to go. Like I'm really happy I did that. It gives you a nice edge, a nice hard edge to be able to run your edger against, like your stick edger against, so you can get that nice clean edge. And it does give you like a bit of a barrier to help prevent or slow down the grass getting into the mulch beds, or at least you can see it happening right before it gets too out of control. So I would say paver. Put pavers in. 8 by 8 inch ones are the ones that I used between the grass and the mulch bed. That's going to get you a good result. That is what I would go with, because again, I did the same thing you were dealing with for years, where I would just try and just put a nice edge on the grass. And the problem with doing that is that you end up, it's a lot of work to maintain it. And if you use mulch like I do, you invariably end up throwing some of the mulch into the lawn, and you got to get there with a blower and clean all that up. So it just makes it kind of a mess. Whereas if you have a paver, you got like, say this is your paver, you've got this side of the paver is mulch and this side of the paver is grass. So when you're edging, you're not really throwing any of the mulch, like the stick edger is not getting anywhere near the mulch. So you get a nice clean edge. It looks nice, and it's just less work to maintain that way if you decide to go that route. So that's what I would do. That's what I do. That's what I did, and I don't regret doing it. I don't regret doing it. Shortgrass Living. That's how I would go about it. All right, 0 and 1, 19. Cool. All right, next up is Mr. Josue Araya. He's a question. He says, hey, Ron, I want to install irrigation in my yard, but I want to know when you thought is a good time to do it. Thanks. Now? Here's the thing. I would not do it here's the thing. You can do it any time of year for the most part if you want to, right? I mean, granted, as long as you live somewhere where the ground isn't like a block of ice right now. Doing it now has a couple of benefits. If you do it now, you get it, it's finished, and then you're not messing up the lawn when you want it to look nice. Like right now, if you have a Bermuda grass lawn and it's dormant and you get irrigation installed, then it's not going to look that bad. Whereas if you decide you're going to do it like in May or June when you're already mowing the lawn, it's nice and green, you have to bring equipment in to trench the lawn and lay pipes. You're going to make it look ugly at a time of the year when you want the lawn to look nice. So you could do it now if you wanted to wait till say February, that would be okay. Early March, that would be fine. I would get it done prior to when you're going to need it. Late spring, early summertime time frame, and yeah, I would just get it done earlier. I would not. I really wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait too long. There's not really any reason to. There's a lot of reasons to do it early, and not a whole lot of reasons to do it later in the season when the turf is actively growing. Another benefit of doing it earlier is if you plan to top dress, right? So you'll put, when you say if they're trenching and they're putting the pipes in, what's going to happen is, even if they try and do as good a job as possible, you are going to get some settling where the pipes were laid. So if by doing it a bit early, like again now or February timeframe, and getting that done, you're giving it time when it rains and just nature takes its course and the areas where they put the irrigation pipes in settles. If you decide you want to top dress, say in April, May timeframe, now you're in really good shape, right? Because now, for the most part, the irrigation piping is settled. Everything things are where they're going to be, and then you can top dress in April, May, and then you're in great shape, right? June, you're gonna be looking lovely. So earlier better than later, in my opinion, for doing that. It's a good question, Josue, and I'll tell you, it's one of the best things you can do as far as just from a convenience standpoint. If you decide you're going to do irrigation, you decide to go forward with it, make sure you get one of the controllers that are wireless. Some people like the is it Ranchio or Rachio, like 3. A lot of people like that one. I just have the HydroWise from Hunter, and it works great. I mean, there's a cell phone app, mobile app, works great. You can turn irrigation on from anywhere in the world. As long as your stuff is connected to the internet, you are good to go. So that is what I would do if you're going to go that route. Definitely spring for a wireless controller, which pretty much, I'm sure anything you buy now is probably going to have that feature. All right, good stuff. All right, let me take a sip here. And what do you guys think? Is it time? Is it time to do another one? I think it's time. I have that feeling. It is time. All right, so we've done a t-shirt, a soil test kit, a t-shirt. Let us do another soil test kit. Again, courtesy of the nice folks at My Soil. Let's go back to our comment picker. We'll cover to our comment picker. I see a comment here. Doug says, Todd, just look, Tifway 419 is good in the shade. Not really. I mean, so that's another thing too. I mean, I just saw the comment just kind of in passing. I was going here. Let me pull up Todd's comment here real quick. So the thing is shade tolerant Bermuda is not really a thing, regardless of what whoever makes it tells you. They say, oh, well, this particular type of Bermuda grass will do really well in shade. No, it might be a little less bad than others, but it's Bermuda grass of all the grass types really needs a lot of direct sunlight. It does not do well in shade. Like shade tolerant Bermuda is not really a thing. Not in the way that most people think about it. Because when you think shade tolerant, right, you think I've got like a tree in my lawn, in my yard, and I've got Bermuda grass growing under the tree. It's like a tree with a big canopy, and the Bermuda grass is growing under at the base of the tree is going to grow as well for the most part as areas that are not under the tree. And that's just not the case with Bermuda. I mean, as in the order, I'd say Bermuda is among the least shade tolerant. St. Augustine is better than Bermuda as far as shade tolerance goes. And then Zoysia is, of the warm season grasses, is probably the most shade tolerant. But even Zoysia needs direct sunlight. You still can't stick Zoysia in places that you could put like I say, a heavily shaded lawn, like a ton of shade. You're really looking at like a fine fescue to have that do well. You know what I mean? Even Zoysia won't work well in a lawn that's where you have like really big trees all over the place and there's tons of shade. And Bermuda grass, even though people say that, there's this type of Bermuda is more shade tolerant than another type, it's just save yourself a lot of headache and time. And if you got a bunch of shade, don't install Bermuda grass there because it's going to be an exercise in frustration. It will not grow well. It's not going to be as thick as areas that are away from the shaded spot. So Tifway 419, I have, like, my lawn is a blend of Tifway 419 and Arden 15. And to give you an example, is for the most part, I don't really have any big trees on the property. I do have a shrub, a fairly, it's not a large shrub, it's probably 4 feet tall, that's in the front lawn, right? And that shrub it's to hide like it's like a power box or something that they have there. So that shrub, even though it's only 4 feet tall, right? Just 4 feet. It's not really that big. Um, for the entire season, any Bermuda grass that's within like 3 feet of it is noticeably thinner than the rest of the lawn. And that's just from a shrub. It's not even a big one. It's like, again, it's 4 feet tall. Some light can get through it. But because of the way the light passes over my lawn, just any grass that's within a few feet of that, it grows, but it's noticeably thinner than other parts of the lawn where there's nothing preventing it. So that's as mild as an example I can think of as far as like a shrub or something limiting basically the amount of sunlight that the grass is getting. And even that on a Tifway 419 Arden 15 blend in a lawn is enough to visually produce a difference where this is noticeably thinner than the rest of the lawn. So don't do Bermuda and shade, just don't work. Full stop. Okay, let's now give away a soil test kit. Let's go back to our comment picker. Rob Yee got his, and let's look here. Our next winner of a My Soil test kit is, make a space here, is going to be T. McD. T. McD, if you are present, please come to the DJ booth. We need to give you your soil test kit. Are you present, T. McD? We're going to give you a few minutes to chime in here and say, yes, I'm here. There you are. You know, if you are here, let me know so we can get you your soil test kit so you can figure out your fertilization strategy for next year. So if you're present, say I'm here, and we'll make sure that you're all squared away, you're all taken care of. All right, next up, we'll take some more questions while we wait to see if T McD's in the house. Let me find out where I left off. Happy Fuller. Happy Fuller's up next. He says, per my soil tests, I will need a fertilizer with phosphorus in the spring. So I'll be going with the complete 14-7-14. Outside of the phosphorus, what are the other differences compared to Humic Max? Excellent question, Happy. Let's talk about it. So what are the differences between Humic Max and the 14-7-14? Let's walk through them here in a fairly quickly. So the big thing between Humic Max and the complete 14-7-14 and the Stress 12-0-24 is kind of in the name. Whereas the complete 14-7-14 and the Stress fertilizer have 1% humic acid in them, Humic Max has almost 9%. It's like 8.9% of the product of that fertilizer is humic acid. So why is that important? Well, humic acid is a biostimulant. It helps with nutrient availability. So as far as it being like a fertilizer and a biostimulant in the same product, Humic Max fits that bill. Now, what are the party tricks that the complete and the Stress have that Humic Max don't have? Because Humic Max is nitrogen, potassium, humic acid. There's not really any micronutrients like iron, zinc, molybdenum, any of that in Humic Max. If you come over to the complete 14-7-14 or the Stress 12-0-24, that is where you get 1% humic acid. So you are still getting some of that. You get some kelp. So you get some sea kelp as well to help improve soil quality. And you also get micronutrients. You get some, a bit of iron. I think it's a bit of iron, a bit of zinc, and what else? I'll tell you here really quick. I've got the analysis here. Let me look if I can get this to load. Not sure what's going on. Okay, so let's get you to pop in here. And I've got the analysis here. Yeah, so with the 14-7-14, you're getting 2% iron, 1% magnesium, and 1.5% magnesium. So you don't get any of that. None of that is in Humic Max. You see? So what you're giving away in the amount of humic acid, because Humic Max has like 9% and this has 1%, you are getting some micronutrient, you are getting some kelp meal in both the 14-7-14 and in the Stress 12-0-24. So you can't really go wrong with any of these. They're all excellent products, but they fit different bills. Humic Max I use as like that's like the staple. That's like most of the heavy lifting throughout the growing season for me. I will apply the Stress 12-0-24 at the beginning of the season and again at the end of the season. And in between, it's Humic Max and the carbon kit and a micronutrient as well. So that's, and of course, obviously my Primo. But I mean, this is primarily what I feed my lawn with throughout the growing season, with the stress 120424 being like the bookends. You know what I mean? Beginning of the season, end of the season. So hope that helps. Happy helps answer your question as far as the differences between them. And the 14714 is an excellent choice. I think you'll be happy with the results you get from that. And that's the differences. That's the differences between Humic Max and the 14714. Let's see. Is T McD here? I don't see, guys. I don't see him. You guys see him? Rob Yee is here. T McD, I don't see you. I don't see you. I think we're going to have to do another drawing here. Let's go back and let's get to another drawing for the soil test kit, right? That's what we're doing. We're doing a soil test kit draw. So T McD, going once, going twice. Not here. I don't see you. I don't see you, sir. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next person. So T McD, no soil test kit for you. The winner of the soil test kit is RSX Type 0. Don't you mean RSX Type R? It's supposed to be RSX Type R. What's a Type O? RSX Type O. Are you present? Are you in the live stream? Got to be present to win. Let me see if I can. I'll make a note here and copy you and add you here. You have just won a soil test kit. So if you're present, let us know. We'll tell you how to get your soil test. So let that up there for a few more seconds while I look for the next comment and give you a few minutes to chime in. And if not, we will draw again. So hard, so difficult to give stuff away. Again, RSX Type O, you won the soil test kit, but only if you're here. All right, Josue Araya is up next. He says, also, since I got my yard installed in September, am I safe to put down prodiamine this spring? Yes. I believe you said you had warm season grass, right? Josue, you had like, I think Bermuda. So if that's the case, yes, absolutely. My lawn was installed in December and it got pre-emergent the following, like in March, like 3 months later, and it was been absolutely fine. So if you did your sod installation in September, you're good to go as far as prodiamine in the spring. If you want to be a bit conservative, you could do a split app on your prodiamine. You could do one application in the say like February, and then do the other half of it in say April-ish timeframe if you're trying to be conservative. So hope that works. Let's see here. Oliver Ridham says, that's me, I'm here, RSX Type O. Okay, why would you be RSX Type O and not Oliver Ridham? Okay, so here we're gonna have to do, are you sure, Oliver? You're not messing with me? Because your name's Oliver. Why would you be RSX Type O if, okay. All right, kind of weird because that's not your name on here, unless you're just going by something else. But let me make a note of this, Oliver, and send me, if you don't mind, you already have my email address, you've been emailing back and forth. It's ron@golfcourselawn.com. He says, I'm not sure why it's displaying that and not my full name. Okay, no worries. So yeah, ron@golfcourselawn.com is my email address. You already know my email address because you email me, but just say, hey, Ron, send me I've won the soil test kit, send it to me, por favor, and I'll make sure that one gets sent out to you. So yeah, cool, man. But if you got an RSX, congrats. I mean, those are kind of, they're cool cars. They're cool cars back in the day. I think they brought the Teg back, didn't they? They brought the Tegra back. I think the Integra is back now. So yeah. All right, so send me an email and we will go from there. All right, next up is Mark Luna. He's in Austin, Texas. Cedric G's in the house. He says, Big Ron, like button smashed, always supporting big guy. Turfs up, furt down, stripe action forever. Thank you so much, Cedric. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Early Happy New Year anyway. And then next you said, Gray Line, per my earlier chat, I put down prodiamine in August. I'll try Spectacle Flow pre-emergent. For now, should I keep spraying the prodiamine or the Poania with certainty? Thanks. Yes, Greg. And here's the thing. You can still, it's a bit late, but you can still apply Spectacle if you want. It's not going to be as good as had you applied it, like in August, September timeframe. But it's a great product. Like I did my second split, my second half of my split application earlier this month, so beginning of December. So if you get your hands on some Spectacle, we carry it on the Golf Course Lawn Store. You can get some. We'll get it out. If you order it today, I'll ensure that it gets out to you tomorrow, or ship it out tomorrow anyway. If you apply that now, that's still going to be better than not having. That's still going to produce a better result than you trying to say apply prodiamine again. And as far as controlling what you've got now, yes, certainty is going to be the way to go. Make sure you're using a rate that's high enough to get good control. So for Poanua, it's 1.25 ounces per acre, up to 2 ounces per acre for Poanua control with certainty. So what that equates to is one of the large scoops. Certainty comes with a spoon that has a big end and a small end. So I'll show you here really quick. So you got two sides. You got a big scoop and a small scoop. So for Poanua control, you're going to use a big scoop and then 1 or 2 of the small scoops for over 1,000 square feet. One large scoop is equivalent. One of these is equivalent to the 1.25 ounce per acre rate. I found that by adding a little bit more, so 1 or 2 of the small scoops in addition to that per 1,000 square feet, gets you better control with certainty. So you want to be, even though they say 1.25 ounces will give you control, it's a bit slower. If you add just a little bit more of the product, it really does. It does a much better job injuring the POA and killing it off. So that's what I would recommend as far as going that route. Make sure you use surfactant along with it. So these two are what you need if you're trying to control Poanua. And yeah, if you want to put some Spectacle down, you can absolutely still do that now. It's, again, not going to be as good, but things will be better in February, March timeframe for you having applied Spectacle now versus having done nothing and waiting until then. So hope that helps, Greg. Sorry you're dealing with that. But the nice thing is once you buy Spectacle Flow, you're good. You're going to have enough of the stuff for years to come. And then Poanua in your lawn in the fall is just not really going to be a thing anymore. It's not going to be nearly the headache that it is now just by relying on prodiamine. You are very welcome, Mark. And then Gene says, thank you for answering my question regarding iron this time of year. This was my first ever chat on any forum. Awesome, Gene. Well, thank you. I'm glad it was useful. We provided some value for you. And hopefully the answer made sense. Good stuff. Glad to help out. No Name says, did you do a split application of Spectacle Flow this year? I did. I did 0.10 ounces in late August, early September. And I did the same thing, 0.10 ounces in November, December. So I did... I changed it up. Last year, 2022, going into 2023, I only did one application of Spectacle in September at the higher rate, so the like 0.20 ounces, 0.20 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet, and that carried me all the way into spring. I had great results, like no breakthrough at all. It was awesome. So this year, throughout the season, some folks have asked, well, hey, there's some guidance showing you doing like split applications. Have you ever tried that? And I'm like, nope, I haven't. So I'll try it. So that's what I'm doing this year. So I did 1/10 of an ounce in August, September, and I did 1/10 of an ounce earlier this month, November, December. And so far, there's been no POA in the lawn. And I don't really anticipate there being a problem. So I've tried it both ways. I'll be able to speak from experience on both ways, what the results are like. I think it's going to be pretty much the same. No weeds, which is what you want. All right, next up, we got Happy Fuller. Happy Fuller's in the house. He says, hey, Ron, have you seen California Trimmer's new mower expected in 2024? It's called the Catalyst. It is supposed to have a rear drum roller. I've heard of it. I've not seen it myself, but it sounds cool, man. I mean, rear drums on real mowers is a good thing. Like if you want a great cut, great stripes, less chances of like hot spots or wear spots in your lawn, then a rear drum, so you're spreading the weight over a larger area, I think is the way to go. That's the reason why greens mowers are all set up that way, right? So yeah, sounds cool. So rear drum, anything else, or is it just that? I heard about some mower that's being released. It might be this one where they're doing some kind of a cartridge system as well. But I don't know. I'm not sure which one of them is doing that. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be cool. I mean, more mowers, more entries, more options are always a good thing. It only helps the consumer. It keeps, it helps push the manufacturers to up their game and make better and better products. So yeah, I'm sure when it goes live, people will buy it and do all kinds of cool reviews on it, and we'll see how it does. I mean, people that have California trimmers, they love them. So if they're doing like an evolution of this thing, I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, next up is Tom Hoffenkamp. He says, the MySoul portal, in my opinion, is a one-stop winner. It also has a great calendar feature, event tab, which is a great place to write down and track your applications or future apps you need to apply. That's a good point. Forgot to mention that, Tom. Let's go back to the portal real quick, and I'll show that as well. So, I logged out. Hang on, let me log back in here really quick. Okay, here we go. So we're back here. You're seeing all my soul test results. But yes, in addition to being able to see, hang on, let me get these guys off of here so you guys can actually see what I'm saying. Nope, not the show sponsor. We can't do that one. I want this one gone. Yeah, so in addition to the average 5-day soul temperature, what Tom is talking about is the calendar/event tracker over here on the left-hand side. If you click on that, you can, let's say we're in December right now. If we go to, say, February 2024, I can make a note here saying pre-emergent emergent app, like that, something like that, pre-emergent. And then, applied pre-emergent, whatever, something like that. And you can save that and say applied prediamine at 0.8 ounces per 1,000. Yay for me. Yay for me. No weeds is awesome. Okay, so you could do that and save it, and then it product pre-emergent name is area. It's going to be Ron Henry's lawn, my lawn, and then I think we are good, right? And I can submit that. We're say pre-emergent product name is, I applied prediamine, like that, and then submit. So there you go, boom. So now you've got that reminder there in the portal, right? So it's kind of a cool tool. You could use this as well for your fertilizer apps or anything else that you want to use. So kind of a nifty option for depending on what you're trying to use. I mean, it's another like you have your soul tests, your soul temperature, and also your events or just product applications. If you want an easy way to track it, you get the access to that for free when you go into the MySoul ecosystem. You get their soul tests, you have a place to track your inputs, all that fun jazz. So cool stuff. All right, so thanks for that, Tom. I forgot to mention that. Good stuff. All right, so let's see. We got a super chat here, one from Don Summers. Thank you so much, Don.
Super chat received.
He says, thanks for answering all my questions in 2023. Happy New Year, everyone. I appreciate that, Don. Thank you for all of the love and support. I'm glad the content is useful to you. And next up, is it almost time to do another one? Is it time to do a t-shirt, or do we need to give it more time? Let's answer one more question, and then we'll do a t-shirt. All right, No Name says there's a good amount of delay from the broadcast to us. Yeah, I know I'm No Name. It's going to be, normally depending on where you are, it's like 30 seconds, but it could be a bit more than that, but that's fine. That's why I give you like 5 to 10 minutes, to be able to chime in as far as hey, I won. Don't give away my stuff because it will make me sad. It'll make me sad. Let's see. So next up, we have a question from Larry. He says, LXRD. He says, does Sedgehammer control more than Nutsedge? Kalinga. It controls other weeds in the sedge family. I don't know if there's anything else outside of that, but what it's primarily for are sedges and Kalinga. And again, that the two are somewhat related. I can look at the label here really quick and tell you, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be sedges. Yeah, it's primarily sedges is what's on here. It says ground cell, lady's thumbs. It has a few other weeds that are listed here, but primarily it's kind of like in the name. Sedgehammer is for sedges and Kalinga. That is what it's. That's where it shines. It's a good question, Larry. I'm gonna save that one. So So yeah, hope that helps. So again, for you, you can't really, Sledgehammer's not going to do anything against Poa annua. So again, if you got cool season turf grass, for the love of everything holy, do not neglect your pre-emergent in the fall. Just don't do it, because it's a pain. I mean, you can manually remove it, but it's a pain to get rid of Poa annua in cool season lawns. It's a pain to get rid of it without hurting your grass in the process. All right. Next up, we have Scott Hawkins. He says, dealing with high pH in a hybrid type of Synodon dactylon, applied citric acid and pelletized sulfur in spring and summer. Anything I can be doing during dormancy. So if your soil test results are still showing that your pH is high, I mean, you're doing the right thing, Scott. Sulfur would be a sulfate of some sort would be the way to go. There's a product. Let me see if I can find it here. There's a sulfate that I like, that I've been recommending to folks, and they like it. They've had good results with it. Let me see. Elemental. It's elemental sulfur. I'm trying to find the product because it comes in a bag. Yeah, it's Earth Science. Here it is. I found it. So this guy here is a good option. I'm not sure what you're using as far as for sulfur, but this is one that I've recommended to a few folks, Scott, and they said the product was easy to spread and whatnot. So let me see, Scott Hawkins, because you're on Facebook, I can't @ you. So Scott Hawkins, this. But yeah, you're to answer your question, you're doing the right things. You're using citric acid, you're putting down a sulfate or a sulfur. That's just it, and just test. Just give it 3 months and check and see how the trend is going. Depending on where the pH of your soil likes to be, like where it buffers, you might see a noticeable change. You might see a slight change, and all you can do is just continue making inputs and slowly trying to influence that pH in the direction you want over time. That's about it. But it sounds like you're doing the right things. Shauna's up next. She says, I'm here on YouTube. What's up, Shauna? Cool. And then Robert says he's cutting every couple of days at 0.75 inches. That's what I thought, Robert. All right, cool. Very, very good stuff. What do we have to do next? We've done the soil test kit. Next, we have to do a t-shirt, right? Is it t-shirt time? It's t-shirt time. Let's do another t-shirt. So let's go now over to the random comment picker tool, and we'll choose a winner for the Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirt. And then after that, we're going to get into like the carbon kit. We're going to get into some of the more expensive stuff, right? All right, so our winner for a Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirt is Mike Delta 987. Mike Delta 987, if you are present, please come to the DJ booth. We need your details so we can tell you how to get your t-shirt. So if you're present, Mike Delta 987, say, I'm here. That might be you. I see Mike D. I'm not sure if that's you though. But yeah, if you're here, do that. Let me know that you're here, and I'll tell you how to get to grab your Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirt. I'll look here in the chat. You said, that's me. Cool. Very nice. So you're here, Mike. Good stuff. The way you can let me know that's the wrong one, of where to send it or where to get you all squared away is you're going to reach out to me here, ron@golfcourselawn.com. Send me an email there saying, hey, this is Mike D from the Beastie Boys. Send me my t-shirt. Actually, obviously that can't be Mike Diamond because he's unfortunately passed away. But anyway, if you want your shirt, send me an email. I'll tell you how to get it, and we'll be good to go. Congrats on winning. We're getting into the carbon kit next, guys. So stay tuned. If you've not won, hold on. There's still hope. There's still hope. All right. So next up, let's see if we have any other comments here. We have Mark Romano. He says a 70-30 mix goes for $80 a yard here, and that's in Hawaii, so I can see that. See, it's a lot more expensive there than here stateside. And then Tom Hoffenkamp says good reason to not move to California. USG, wow. Wow. USGA sand per yard delivered has been quoted to me as $591. Good Lord. Do they spread it for that price? I mean, that can't just be them bringing it there. They should give you a back rub, spread the sand. If she come with a therapist to talk to you for a while, for an hour or two. I mean, that's steep, man. Wow. It does not. Here's the thing: like the super sod level mix, which is 70% USGA sand and 30% of their compost, like delivered. Like if you use my coupon code, is around $200 a yard. So you could almost buy 3 yards of that for the price of just the sand in California. That's insanity. Wow. Tom, you need to move, man. Come to Georgia. It's cool. We have sand doesn't cost that much here. It's like cheaper taxes, all that kind of stuff. So just something to consider. Just a thought. I mean, you have to really like your lawn. I mean, like in your case, man, getting sand's got to be you got to like stack Christmas and birthday together. You can't just decide you're just going to do sand on a whim. That's going to be like, talk it over with the wife and be like, sweetheart, this is going to be like Christmas and birthday. This is everything all in one is my sand for my lawn. That's what I want for my present, because it's not cheap. That's not cheap. And Mark says that's me picking it up myself. $80 is still pretty expensive. All right. Let's see here. Doug, let's see here. Doug is talking about cultivars. He says there are some cultivars that does good and partial shade. I can't remember the name. Yeah, so the one that you're thinking about from Super Sod is called is Tiff Tough. That's the Super Sod hybrid blend. And again, even while it's like marginally better than Tifway 419, it's not. It still needs sunlight. Bermuda grass needs sunlight. Full stop. Like it does not. Like Bermuda and shade are like mayonnaise and ice cream. They just don't go together. It's gonna struggle if you have an appreciable amount of shade and you're trying to grow Bermuda grass. Tiff Tough is a great cultivar. Beautiful grass, nice color, fine leaf. But I would not, if you haven't, I'll put it this way. If you have an area of your lawn where Tifway 419 is not doing well, like it's kind of bare and kind of thin and not great looking, I highly doubt that going from Tifway 419 to Tiff Tough is going to make an appreciable difference. You'll install it and it'll look nice initially, but then it's eventually going to thin out and look not that much better than the Tifway 419 did. So just don't install Bermuda grass in areas where you have partial shade, you don't get a lot of sunlight. It's just going to be thinner. Let's see here. Next up is Julius. This is a good question. Julius Elias has a question. He says, when should you aerate and top dress? So the answer to both, Julius, is whenever the lawn is actively growing so that it recovers faster from it. So with aeration, if you're in the Southeast United States, you could do your aeration in the April-May timeframe. And the same is true for top dressing. So if you were looking at late April, early May timeframe, all the way through until the first week of August, that block of time, you can aerate during that time and you can top dress during that time. I'm a fan of doing it earlier in the season because it gives the lawn more time to recover and you can enjoy the lawn and you're not out there when it's really hot, either aerating it yourself or spreading top dressing material. But to answer your question, if you're in the Southeast United States, late April, early May is a good time to do it. If you're somewhere else, whenever your lawn is actively growing. So when it's fully green, you're mowing it regularly, then you can feel free to aerate and top dress. So hope that helps. Great question. If you care, we have on the topic of both aeration and top dressing. If you go to the Golf Course Lawn Store and you go to resources and blog, we have some content on top dressing and on lawn aeration. So the top dressing blog is going to be, I'm going to give you links to both of them. I think they're both going to be on page 3 at this point. The top dressing blog is, I'm looking for it. Unless I passed it already. I don't think I did. No, here we go. Yeah, they're both here. So the top dressing blog is here, the guide on top dressing, and right next to it is the blog on aeration. So how to top dress is this one. How to core aerate is that one. So if you want, like, example of a discussion on what type of material to use, why is it important, when to do it, what blends to use, what kind of tools you're going to need, some content around like cutting the lawn down, talking about aerating as part of top dressing. So really you just need this one. I'll just send you the top dressing one because the top dressing blog has the video on aeration in it. So you can read this, talks about like fertilizer and products to use after you're done top dressing, when to top dress. I mean, all that jazz. You got everything you need to be able to be covered. So I'll send you both of these. I'll send you both. Why not? So here is our blog on top dressing Julius. And then, because I know you're a guy that wants to have all the infos, I'm going to send you also the blog on core aeration. So core aeration blog, the guy. So both those two, between those two, you'll be all squared away in addition to what I just said. So long short is when your grass is growing, actively growing, get out there and top dress or aerate it. You are good to go at that point. Great question, sir. I appreciate you taking some time out of your Friday, out of your New Year's weekend to come by and ask some good questions. It's a good one because other people are going to have that, are going to worry about it and wonder about it, and now they'll have it answered. All right, Tom, that's not for me. That is not for me. And next up, looking for the next questions here. Okay, we have Matthew Whitson. He says, I currently have common Bermuda and was wondering what would you recommend to give it a more hybrid look? I've heard adding PGR can give it a more tighter look, but I wanted to see what you recommend. That's exactly it, Matthew. I would say if you have common Bermuda lawn and you want it to look as good as it can look, I would say, one, up your mowing frequency and also use growth regulator. So use growth regulator and increase your mowing frequency, and that's going to give it a tighter and a nicer appearance. The same applies if you have a hybrid lawn with some common in it. If you allow, like common and hybrid, they grow at different rates so that the common really begins to stick out. But if you use growth regulator and you're mowing regularly, so say you're mowing, keeping the lawn at say 3/4 of an inch, using PGR every couple of weeks, the common is not going to be quite as visually apparent in a hybrid lawn if you're using growth regulator. So to answer your question, PGR is the order of the day. What I would recommend using is Primo Max. And if all you have is common, you're going to have to bump that rate up over what you would use in a hybrid lawn. So hope that helps, sir. As far as what rates you're going to need to use, I will send you a link to the blog on growth regulator that we have that talks all about that. Because in there's a section that, right here. In there's a section that has the split application rates. If you scroll down right here, so for common Bermuda, like 0.38, call it 0.4. 0.4 ounces every 2 weeks is around what you're going to want to be at for common Bermuda if you're doing the split application type of approach. And if you're not, you're going to be doing like 3/4 of an ounce. But I would not recommend that. I would recommend spraying it every 2 weeks. So if you're interested in learning about that technique and a bit more about growth regulator in a blog that is not too long, but is very well written, granted I'm biased, and fun to read, then I will send you this, and you'll be able to learn, to be able to know what I know about growth regulator. Battle tested. So there you go. PGR blog. Hope that helps, Matthew. Let me know if you need anything else. All right, next up we got Timothy Burke. He says, Happy New Year, Ron and fellow lawn enthusiasts. Just got my Headway G hand-delivered today at my house. That is definitely a good opportunity to make it a golf course lawn. Challenge accepted. Awesome, Timothy. Glad to hear that it was, you got your stuff, fast. You ordered it and you got it like same day because you're in the area. So like, why ship it? Why ship it when you can just bring it to you directly? You know what I mean? Get your stuff quicker. And I think what, little birdie told me that you got one of those. You got one of the rare stickers. One of these guys. You got one of the psychedelic stickers because these again not easy to come by. Only a few of the products actually include those. Pillar. Let me think. If you order Pillar SC, like the Pillar fungicide, you get it. Spectacle, you get it, and the herbicide kits, you get it. So, and maybe if you place an order and you ask really nicely in the notes section, I might tell the warehouse to put one of them in there. We'll see, but no promises. Okay, next up we have Andre Taylor. He says, Hey, Ron, happy holidays. When should we start applying pre-emergent in the new year? Great question, Andre. So once you get past February, when the average soil temps are in the high 40s to low 50s and trending warmer. So you want pre-emergent in the soil prior to soil temps being in the mid 50s because that is when crabgrass and other warm weather weeds, warm season weeds begin to germinate. So you want it in the soil before then. So a question you might be asking yourself is, how, pray tell, will I know when the average 5-day is in the mid 50s or getting close to that? So if you get your soil test, if you have a My Soil test kit, right? If you have one of these and you use their portal, which you get for free, you get free access to that. One of the options you'll get, which is kind of cool, is if you when you log in and you put your information in with your address and zip code and all that kind of stuff, it will tell you what the average 5-day soil temperature is in your area. So, once February rolls around, you can start monitoring this, and you can also look at the weather and just see like the overall pattern, and that will let you know when it's time to start introducing your pre-emergent. When it comes to pre-emergent, a bit early is better than a bit late. So there's some people that will literally wait until the soil temperatures are in the mid 50s, like 55, 56 degrees, and then put it down. I am not a fan of doing that, because really by the time that happens, the weeds that you're trying to control have already started germinating, and pre-emergent has limited, it doesn't work well against weeds that are already growing. You know what I mean? So you want it like a week or two early is better than a week or two late. So you can use that tool in the My Soil portal. You can also use Syngenta's website. I believe they also have a soil temperature, average soil 5-day soil temperature tool for the United States. You just put your zip code in, it'll tell you, and use that starting like in February to start tracking, soil temperatures, and you can use that as a guide for your pre-emergent apps. Again, in the Southeast U.S., mid-February is a good time for me to get it done. Some people will wait till March. That's also fine too. But if you start putting out, let's say in mid-February, if you're in Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, if you're along Texas, if you're along the South, that's going to be, as a general rule, that's going to be pretty good. You're going to be ahead of the curve a bit, and that's going to be just fine. So, but the most correct answer is before soil temps are in the mid 50s. So hope that helps, Andre. Great question. And good job, man. You're putting some thought into keeping weeds out of your lawn now, which is a much smarter way to go, because, controlling weeds after the fact is a lot more of a pain, and it's more expensive than preventing them in the first place with pre-emergent. So good job. All right, let's see what else we got here before we draw again. All right, next up is Always Baked Never Fried. He says, is Celsius and Sedgehammer a good combo? It is. It will work, but for warm season grass, I prefer Certainty over Sedgehammer, because it works better. It controls more sedges than Sedgehammer does, and it also controls Poa annua. So if you have a warm season lawn, then I would absolutely go with Certainty over Sedgehammer. Works better, works faster, and it also controls Poa, all of which Sedgehammer does not do. Right? So yes, strictly speaking, can you? Yes. But I wouldn't. If I had the option, I would always choose Certainty for a warm season lawn. I'd only use Sedgehammer. So an example, so where would you use Sedgehammer if you had a warm season lawn? Let's say you had a lawn that's blended, right? So you got, like, say, Bermuda grass in the front, and you got like fescue in the back. So you may want to control sedges in the front and also in your fescue lawn. That is where Sedgehammer would make sense. Granted, you wouldn't mix Certainty with the Sedgehammer if you're spraying the fescue, right? You would not do that. But if you wanted sedge control for both warm and cool season turf, that's where Sedgehammer would be a fit. But if all you got is warm season grass, use Certainty. It's faster, and again, you also get the ability to control Poa annua, which Sedgehammer doesn't give you. So hope that helps. BTBJ says, Happy New Year to Ron and everyone in the chat. Appreciate you. And then next up is Justin Judkins. He says, other than the environmental concerns, what negative effects come from using more than the annual max of something like prodiamine? Well, one, it's illegal. Like, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to use more. You're not supposed to put more of the active ingredient in the soil than the manufacturer recommends. Just not supposed to do that. So don't do it. And then, like, when you started out with the environmental concerns, that's not a small thing. So again, you really want to stick to the label. The label is there for a reason. You said, so if you exceed the rate, so let's answer your question now. If you exceed the rate of prodiamine, if you go grossly over the what's recommended, you can start having issues with root clubbing, to where you can actually damage the roots of the grass. So particularly of younger grass, you can cause injury. So there's a whole lot of reasons to do it. One, you are using more. I mean, it's bad for the environment, using more of the product than the manufacturer says, and then you're also taking the risk of damaging your grass. So there's a whole lot of reasons to not do it, and I wouldn't recommend it. So you're saying, i.e., using it in the spring and the fall more than the max. I really wouldn't do that, Justin. What I would say is if you're looking for a pre-emergent strategy that I think works better, is pick one and use it in the spring, and then use a different one in the fall. So if you want to use prodiamine in the fall, use dithiopyr in the spring. In the spring, dithiopyr is nice too because it will control young crabgrass. So that's kind of a benefit of it. So use dithiopyr in the spring and then use prodiamine in the fall. Both of those pre-emergents are on the more affordable side of things. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to save a little bit of money, prodiamine is not too expensive. Dithiopyr is a bit more, but it's still not as expensive as some of the more boutique pre-emergents like I don't know, like Pennant Magnum, like Spectacle Flow. Like those are more expensive, and they're more expensive for a reason, right? So what I personally do, what I will be doing this year upcoming is I'll be using prodiamine in the spring, and I'll be using Spectacle Flow in the fall for pre-emergent. That's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would not exceed the label rates. I just wouldn't do that. All right. Next up is Robert Rainey. You know what, Justin? I'm sure other people are going to have that question, so we'll make a note of it. Why not? And we need to give away a carbon kit here soon, right, guys? Y'all been waiting around a while. You're saying, hey, man, you're wasting time. Stop jibber jabbering. Let's get a carbon kit given away. And you know what? I've got 6 items. I may have to do one more because again, I want to end the year right. So let me make a note here really quickly, Justin, for you. And you know what? Let's move on. Let's go back to the drawing tool, to the random draw comment picker. So what we're giving away now, right? We're definitely stepping it up as far as cost of items. And what we're giving away is a golf course lawn carbon kit. So if you go to shop and then you go to lawn fertilizer or go to the Miramichi green section, we're going to be giving away the 5,000 square foot carbon kit. Now you have a choice. You have an option. If you win, you can get the Release Zero carbon kit, which has Release Zero, NutriKelp, and BioSpectrum, which is a good option if you have a liquid fertilizer that you like to use and you want to mix this along with it. Works great. Or if you're someone that says, you know what, I don't feel like doing all that extra work and I want to have a fertilizer along with my kelp product and my micronized carbon product and my soil microbial, then you could opt for the 901C carbon kit. So you have a choice of either this one or this one if you win. All right. So let's now find out who that person is going to be. You know what? We may have to do another one because I want to make sure we give away 7 of these. So seven gifts. Okay. So the winner of the golf course lawn carbon kit is picking now. Geek Girl. Geek Girl, are you in the house? Are you present? If so, please come to the DJ booth. We need your details so we can send you a golf course lawn carbon kit. Are you here? We're going to give you a few minutes. We're going to go back. I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave this up here so you can actually see your name. Geek Girl is here fairly often, so I think that she's probably here. But if not, we'll see. And I'm going to give her a few minutes. And if not, then we'll draw again, right? All right, Devin's up. Devin's in the house. He says, what's up, Ron? Good luck, everybody. Thanks, Devin. Thanks for coming to hang out, sir. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully, I'm sure the course is likely shut down in Colorado Springs this time of year. But glad to see that you're still hanging out a little bit over the holiday season. Come by to say hello. Hope all is going well. And let's see, who else do we have? Other comments. Timothy Burke says, where's a good place to get top dressing in or around Gainesville? Okay, so Timothy, here's the thing. I've gotten top dressing from a lot of the places around here. Landscape Plus in Gainesville, like their top dressing mix isn't bad. You could go with that. The best stuff though that I've come across really is the stuff from Supersod. Like you live here in Georgia, you got access to it. I would absolutely pay a little bit more and get the Supersod stuff because it's going to be clean. There's not going to be any debris in it. It comes with a great compost product. Like that is what I would opt for. Like if I'm top dressing my lawn, that's what I'm going to be using. So, and a way for you to save a little bit of money on it if you want is the folks at Supersod have given me a code to give to my viewers that saves you guys a bit on the cost of the product. So don't order it now. Obviously, you don't need it now. What tends to happen is early next year, like in probably late January, early February, they tend to start running a sale. And what will happen is this code, this link I'm giving you, is going to give you a discount on top of what their sale that they're running is going to be. So it's a way to save yourself a little bit more money. That is the stuff that I would use. I'll be completely honest. That's what I would use in my lawn. I wouldn't mess around with anything else. If you don't mind having to pick a little bit of debris out of the top dressing mix, you can go with it's a place called Landscape Plus. They're in Gainesville. They're not too far. I'm not sure where where you are in Gainesville, but they're in Gainesville. So it's not going to be, you're going to pay a ton for delivery, that kind of stuff to get it brought out to you. But again, if you can swing it, I would pay a bit more and go with the Superside mix. And then as far as the top dressing material, let me do this at Timothy Burke, top dressing. That link right there will save you a bit of money. Again, don't order it now. Wait till like late January, early February. They'll announce any sales they're doing then, and then you'll be able to save a bit of coin on top of whatever they're offering. So there you go. All right, next up, Instagram. You guys are quiet. All the folks on Instagram are over on YouTube tonight because they want to win a carbon kit. Let's see, Geek Girl. I don't see you. Oh, we're gonna give it a little bit more time here. I don't see her yet. You guys, we'll give it like a few more minutes. We'll see if she chimes in and says, "I'm here." Do you guys see Geek Girl? I don't see her yet. All right, well, let's keep going. We'll answer a couple more questions. And Terrence Stamp says, Ron, question. I am still seeing clover in my lawn. Should I be treating it with anything or wait till spring? Thank you. Depends on how much it bothers you. If it were me, I would get out some Celsius and surfactant and go after the clover. It's going to be a bit slower to work this time of year, but this combination will should do a pretty good job cleaning up the clover in your lawn, Terrence. I mean, again, it's up to you how bad it depends on how much it's bugging you. If it's really irritating you, then you can use Celsius, use surfactant with it, and that should take care of the clover that you're dealing with in your lawn. Shawnee Mac says t-shirts. Yep. We've been doing the t-shirts tonight. The Greatness from the Ground Up t-shirts. And let's see here. Zyder says, can I request songs of the DJ booth? I got a limited selection, man. I don't have too many. I don't have too many options that I can put in here. And then Jacob Madrid says, the carbon kit. And let's see here. B Nin says, what up, though, Ron? How to obtain a golf course lawn sticker. So yeah, if most of the products that we order, so if you order any of our herbicide products, if you order Primo Max, if you order a Celiprin, those all, not everything comes with a sticker because of where they ship from, but Primo Max, the like Celsius, Certainty, Sedgehammer, Tenacity, Surfactant, those will come with a sticker. Those will come with this one. If you want the big pimpin' sticker, yes, that's what I'm gonna call it, the big pimpin' sticker. If you want the psychedelic, cool, gaudy, if you're someone that gets everything in gold, like it's all got to be gold or it's got to be chromed out. If that's you and you want one of these, then it's going to be I'll show you here really quick. Let's go back here. I'll show you really quickly what are the options for the super shiny sticker if you want that one. Oh, so you go to shop and then weed killer. So any of the kits. So the Celsius kit, the Cool Season kit, the Tenacity Sedgehammer kit, the Recognition kit, whenever we get Recognition again, it's going to be a while, but that whenever it comes out, that will be an option too. Or if you go over to fungicides, so Pillar SC would come with it, and also back on the herbicide route, if you were to order Spectacle Flow, this will also come with one of the fancy stickers. But if you just want one, like the black one, just the Golf Course Lawn Store sticker, Primo, Aceleprint SC, like most of the herbicide products that we carry will come with one. So hope that helps. BB Nin, and if you have any other questions, let me know. Larry is up next. He says, Ron, I have several small weeds on my lawn. Didn't use pre-emergent due to seeding small areas, which have sprouted now. It's raining here, so I'll send pictures next week for advice. Tenacity did a number on it. Cool. Yeah. I mean, so Tenacity or a three-way, that's going to be what you're going to use to control weeds in, in a relatively, in a newer lawn. Like you can't use pre-emergent, but like you could use a post-emergent herbicide to knock those back. Let's see here. And Shawnee Mac says, that's insane. I know, right? Zydar says, sorry if it's been answered, but is there a place you'd recommend for getting sand soil mix here in Georgia? I'm in East Cobb. Yes, the link I just posted in the chat for Super Sod. That is what I would say. Wait until like February-ish timeframe, whenever they announce whatever they're going to be doing as far as incentives goes. Top dressing mix. That one. So it's posted in the chat now, Zydar. That is the one that I would go with. I've either bought or I've had access to and tried the majority of top dressing mixes that are available in this area, and by far the Super Sod stuff is the best. By far, not even close. It costs more, but it's because it's worth more. It's better product. Oh, it's MCA that passed away. Mike D is still around. Okay, I'm right. I forgot which one of the BC Boys it was. So MCA passed away. Mike D is still alive and well. So my bad. Sorry about that. I'm spreading fake news. Sorry about that. I knew one of the BC Boys was no longer with us. All right. Shawnee Mac says, we taking sand after aeration. We taking sand after aeration to fill in the plugs and help with drainage / nutrient uptake. Yeah. So if you're doing, this is a good question, Shawnee. So if you're going to top dress with sand or compost or a blend of the two, I'm a fan of having aeration be part of that process. So if you want like the short answer as far as how Ron Henry recommends you top dress a lawn, you would aerate the lawn, and then you would apply a fertilizer. I recommend Humic Max, and then a biostimulant, like a granular biostimulant, like Essential G. And then after that, you would then top dress over it. Reason being is the granular biostimulant and fertilizer both need to be in the soil in order to work. So it makes a lot of sense that after you've opened up the soil profile by punching holes all through it and removing cores with aeration, that's the ideal time to put a fertilizer down and to put down a granular biostimulant. Then you apply your top dressing mix, and the nice thing about that is it's going to help, the holes from the aeration are going to help that sand soil mix integrate better with the existing soil profile. So aeration, if you can swing it, is a really good idea to do prior to top dressing. If you look at the way golf courses do it, that's what they do. When they top dress a green, they just go on the green, just drop sand all over it. They aerate it first, and then they will top dress after aeration. So do what the pros do. There's a good reason for it. All right, guys, I do not see Geek Girl. I don't think so. I don't see her. So let us go back to the comment picker. It pains my heart because I know she probably would have liked a carbon kit. I don't see her here though. All right. So no carbon kit. Let's draw again. No carbon kit for Geek Girl. Our winner of the Golf Course Lawn Carbon Kit is Dalen Krause 355. Dalen, are you present? Are you here? Dalen, do not make me sad. Don't make me have to give this to somebody else. If you are present, you, sir, are the winner of a Golf Course Lawn Carbon Kit of your choosing, either the Release 901C or the Release 0 kit. So I'll leave your name up here for a little while longer. Dalen, if you're here, please come to the DJ booth, and I will tell you how to claim your prize. All right. Next up is Dan Lynch. He says the source of the 70-30 mix. Some places will do it. They'll blend it for you, Dan. But the Super Sod product that I'm talking about, their level mix is a 70-30. It's 70% USGA sand and then 30% of their proprietary compost. They call it soil cubed. It's like I think it's like zoysia grass clipping. I forget what it is. It's three different components that make it up. And it's a really good product. So if you live in Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, then go with that. That's what I would go with. That is what I would recommend. Dalen Krause, he might be out partying. He might not be here. Someone else may have a chance at it. All right. Shawnee Mac says, he says, I'm up north Minnesota. I went with twin CDCs and have never looked back. Straight up, great cultivars, and I dominate. Awesome. Like it. Love to hear that. He says, Rob Yee says, would it be better to do a soil test closer to spring for a cool season lawn? You can, Rob. The reason why I'm a fan of doing a soil test twice a year, like doing one in the spring and then one in the fall, is the idea behind the fall one is twofold. First, it allows you to measure the effectiveness of your nutrient program over the past growing season. And then second, if your soil pH needs adjusting, it gives you more time. So let's say you wait until the spring, which you could absolutely do that. You could wait till like say February, March timeframe and do your soil test and then use that data to go and drive your program for the year, which can absolutely happen. But let's say you wait till March to do your soil test and like you're in Georgia and your pH is like 4.9. So your soil is quite acidic. Like it would have been better to have that information several months sooner so you could apply a lime, allow that to react with the soil and help bring that pH up so that you're going to get more out of your fertilizer applications. You know, so the reason for the fall soil test is for me it's large. It's two things. Again, to measure the effectiveness of your program, but also to determine where the soil pH is, you know? So it's up to you. You can, if you did a soil test now, what it comes back with as far as nutrient deficiencies will still be good data to use going into the springtime, you know? So it's really your call if you want to wait till closer to the spring. The benefit of doing it now is that if your pH needs adjusting, it gives you time to do that because that takes longer to see movement than say, than your macros. Like if you want to boost nitrogen levels, potassium levels, phosphorus levels, that happens a lot faster than moving soil pH. So just something to consider. All right, Dalen, are you here? I don't see you. I'm looking so far. I don't see you, man. I have to draw again. I don't know, guys. All right. Let's see. And then Rob Yee's. Devin says Rob Yee generally for cool. And then next up, let's see. I'm not sure what else we got going on here. Got Mike D says, I literally started watching tonight, replayed a little at the beginning to see if the drawing was done yet. And as soon as I hit the live button, you did the drawing. Talk about timing. Yeah, man. You got good timing, Mike D. You were good to go. And then Devin says, Rob D, generally for cool season, turf, fall is the best time for soil tests. Yep. So again, a bit earlier in the fall, it gives you twofold. One, you can measure like what you did, effectiveness of what you did earlier in the season. And then if your pH needs adjusting, it gives you time to fix that. Guys, I don't see Dalen. You know, I think we've given it enough time. What do you guys think? I mean, I know you guys are savages and you're all like, no, he ain't here, man. Go on. Next one. It's his loss, right? Because I know you guys are waiting. I don't see him. I don't see him. I think we have to draw again. Dalen, I am sorry, man. If you watch this after the fact, I tried, but the savages have spoken. Let's go back. And this thing is, it's the carbon kit. You guys don't want a carbon kit? Like y'all were here for the t-shirts, the soil test kits, but not the carbon kit? I don't get it, man. All right, well, we go again. All right, so Dalen, going once. Going twice. All right, no Dalen. There we go. The next winner of the Golf Course Lawn Carbon Kit is LG. What? I can't. Why'd it have to be LG of all people? Because it's just, I'm sure he's right now like throwing stuff, doing cartwheels. He's gonna throw his back or hip out, doing a backflip in the living room. This is, I don't get it. So LGCZ4HB, I think this is LG, because for some reason, it seems like some of you guys' names are doing something weird whenever you guys are commenting, because like, for example, Oliver's was some other thing, but all right, LGCZ4HB, if you're present, which I think it's just LG. LG, if you're present, please come to the DJ booth. It looks like you may have won yourself a golf course lawn carbon kit. Look at you guys. You're like, oh my God, no LG. LG don't need it. Okay, you guys know what? Even if you want it, I think we're gonna do one more because that's only 6 things. We've done a t-shirt, a soil test kit, another t-shirt, another soil test kit, another t-shirt, a carbon kit. That's 6. We got to go to 7 for perfection, right? So we got to do one more. So we'll do another carbon kit, Assuming LG's here. He might not be here, guys. He might not be here. We're going to give him a few minutes to see if he pops in. We'll give him a few more minutes to see if he pops in. You know what? We'll even try and some of him. We'll play his Tango Bolero and see if he's see if he pops in. I'll have a sip here while I look for the next comment or question. Guys, the only thing more savage, right? Let's just talk through this. The only thing more savage than him not winning is him winning and not being here to get it. You guys are gonna be able to talk so much trash to him next week. Oh, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be awful, 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 awful. All right, we'll give it a few more minutes here, and I'll answer another another question. He's not gonna be here, guys. I don't think he's, because he would have commented by now. All right. Next up, we have Vahid Navi. Vahid Navi's up next. He says, happy holidays and in advance, happy new year. I appreciate that. Vahid, I don't think he's here, guys. I don't think he's going to win it. Oh, it's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. And then Los is up next. He says, hey, Ron, I have algae on my lawn and it looks like it's spreading. I did a soil test and it ended up putting lime on my lawn to help it out. Does spraying iron help get rid of algae? Iron is more for moss, Los. The thing I would say for algae is if you have an area of the lawn where it doesn't drain well, so you have some drainage issues, like fix that. Because there are products you can use, like, lime will help with it, because you're raising the soil pH. Like algae and moss tend to like more acidic soils. But most people that have algae problems in their lawn, it stems from shade and poor drainage. So if it rains, you have a lot of water and it kind of sits there for a while. That's going to cause an issue with algae. Something else to consider too, right, is some lawns this time of year may have algae issues and they don't have them throughout the rest of the seasons because now it tends to be cool and wet and more rainfall. So it might be one of those things where you just kind of wait it out. If your lawn happens to have algae problems just in the winter months, and in the springtime and summer, there's no issue, you might just wait and just not kind of turn a blind eye to it. But I mean, you're doing the right things with getting the pH in check. And then the next thing I would say is look for ways to improve drainage because that is going to help reduce the issues with algae in your lawn. All right, so I hope that helps her. Great question, and I'll make a note of that because other folks I'm sure will have had the same one. All right, guys, as much as it pains me, I don't think LG is here. I don't think he's here. I don't think he's here. So let's go back over. Let's go back over to the comment picker. LG going once. LG twice. One more time, calling LG. Now, LG, this hurts me more than it hurts you. We're going to have to move on. LG's not present. All right. And listen, now, guys, here's the thing. Before I draw the next winner, you guys need to behave. Next week, do not give him a hard time. He's going to be irritated. He's going to be upset. This is not going to be taken well. I'm sure all of you are going to behave like the adults that I know you are and not rib him too much about it next week. All right, just saying that now. All right, so the winner of Carbon Kit 1 of 2 is, assuming they're here, Josue Araya 1177. Josue, you asked a question earlier, but did you stick around? Did you get your question answered and say, no, I'm good. I got what I needed out of the live stream. I'm going to move on, go to sleep, turn in early. Or did you stick around and be the person that was able to poach a carbon kit from LG? Are you still here? If you're present, Josue, come to the DJ booth. We need to get some details from you. You are here. Okay, cool. So Josue is here. His carbon kit is claimed. I like it. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I have one more. We're going to do one more carbon kit because that'll give us a 7. We'll be giving away 7 things, and that'll be good, right? Well, it's a good way to end the year. 7 items given away. So Josue, if you don't mind, send me an email, ron@golfcourselawn.com. Email me there with your address of where we need to send the carbon kit to, and we'll get you all squared away, okay? So congrats on winning. We got one more. We got one more. We're gonna do another carbon kit of the same type, and that will get me to 7 items, and then everybody will have ample chances. In addition, guys, think about all the entertainment value. Not only did we get to, give away some cool stuff. I mean, LG's not gonna, guys, I'm telling you, he's not gonna take this well. He's gonna probably watch tomorrow, and there's gonna be a whole lot of cussing. He's gonna need to go to church on Sunday after the behavior he's gonna have. All right, so next up we have Justin. Justin says, "Thanks for your help, Ron. Just to clear my name, he's just we're clearing this up now. I am not, I repeat, not using more than the annual max." Now, here's the thing now, Justin. Are you really not doing it, or are we doing like a Bill Clinton? I did not. Guys, the famous phrase that he did like years and years ago when the indiscretion happened, right? He says, "I am not using more than the annual max rate of prodiamine." But my neighbor asked this, and I wasn't sure what the answer was, other than it's bad for the environment. I got you, Justin. Your name is cleared. We know you would never do that, and I'm glad that you asked for the neighbor and you told them that, hey, it's bad for the environment. You can pass that little clip on to him as far as the answer goes. Stay tuned, guys. There's still a chance to win one more. We got one more carbon kit that we're going to do, and then we'll close out 2023. We'll close out the live stream on that note. All right, so let me see what else we got here. Questions. Bunch of I want the carbon kit. Cooper's dad, he says, "Hey Ron, for what it's worth, I feel compacted soil when aerating and top dressing in the spring. Would you avoid filling in the holes in these specific areas with top dressing in hopes of helping compaction?" No, I would still use top dressing mix. I would absolutely do that. Because so if you top dress and you still use, say you're using a sand soil blend, the fact, if you've never done it before, Cooper's dad, once you aerate a lawn, if you walk on the lawn after aerating it, it feels, I don't want to say mushy, but you can literally feel the lawn kind of moving around a little bit underneath your feet. So if you have a highly compacted area of your lawn, just the mere fact that you aerated it, that you pull those plugs out, is going to allow the lawn to relax a little bit. That's going to relieve some of the compaction. So if you go and top dress on top of that, yes, it is going to be filled. It's going to fill in the plugs or those holes a little bit, but just the mere fact of aerating it and you're like walking on it after doing that, that's going to relieve some of that compaction. It's not like you're not going to be undoing your work by top dressing after aerating, is just what I'm trying to get to. So to answer your question, I absolutely would top dress after aerating if that's what your plan is. You're not going to undo your work by doing that. So good question. I like what you're thinking. I mean, I get what your thought process is, but it's not. That's not going to be the case. You'll be just fine, just fine. And again, top dress. Aerating as part of top dressing is the best way to do it, in my opinion. Let's see here. BT says, "Hey Ron, what gives? I thought all the comments being selected had to give the correct name for the mole you caught destroying your yard." Yes, but I mean, yes and no. I mean, you just have to comment on the video, because I've done them in the past where people have done that, and they've done that, and it just creates a bunch of headaches. So if you commented on the last video, then you're going to be entered. You're going to be just fine. You're going to be good. So there's still, because also BJ, there's not really a way for me to filter those people out other than just draw again. Like take for example, Haas Way, right? Who just won. He did Marquise, which was correct. He said Marquise the Destroyer. If it had been like whatever, Vanessa the Destroyer, I'd have to just kick him out and draw it again. So it just, I mean, to make it to where just people don't have a bad experience. If you commented with the intention of being able to be part of the drawing, I want to give everyone the opportunity to. So hope that helps. All right, next up is Greg Lyons. He says, "What are you doing for New Year's?" Whole lot of nothing, man. Just sit around and relax, maybe have a bourbon, just do nothing. I am pretty boring. No partying, none of that fun stuff. Just sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing, waiting for warm weather, and calling it. But hopefully that makes it up to you, BTBJ, because I said we were going to do 6 items right at the beginning of the show, but now we're giving a bonus. We're throwing a bonus in. We're throwing in another carbon kit. So hopefully that makes up for the fact that some people that didn't have the absolute correct answer, are still entered. So, we'll take a poll on this. And we can actually we can do that going forward. We can make it to where it's strict. If you have the wrong answer, then you're just not even answered. But I'll take it. I'll give it to you guys, right? While I look for the next question. Must should only correct answers be allowed to enter? All right, so yes or no. So there we go. I'm going to start a poll now. You guys can run it. You guys can tell me what you think, and we'll do that for the next one. So going forward, should only the correct answers in the comment be allowed to enter, or should, if you commented on the video that is the one that's for the giveaway, then you're entered. So we'll see. I'll let this run for a little bit, and then you guys can let me know. There's 115 of you guys in here, so it's a pretty good sampling. And whatever you guys go with, that's what we'll go with going forward. But here's the thing. If we decide that that's the way it's going to be, like, I don't want to hear a bunch of people getting mad saying, oh, well, I've commented and I won, but the answer wasn't right. Or here's the thing. And if there's misspelling, so if you spell it like, whatever, Marquise, you spell Marquise wrong, that's still going to count. But let's say someone asks a question instead of saying enter me in the giveaway or something like that, then that would be disqualified. So I'm going to put it to you guys. Get your thoughts on it. If it's close, if it's split, then we may just leave it the way it is. But it needs to be. You guys will decide. And then I don't want to hear any confusion or anyone being mad the next time when we strictly stick to it that way. Okay, next up, let's see here. We're going to do the other carbon kit here in a second, guys. Hold on. Let your hearts not be troubled. We're going to do it. And then Shawnee Mac says, been watching you for a minute. Always enjoy how knowledgeable you are. I'm in cool season. Besides Ryan Nor, who else would you recommend that I follow? I don't know, man. For cool season folks, I don't know. I mean, Ryan is probably the biggest as far as cool season grass, right? I don't know. I think there's a Hawaiian guy that's funny. He's hilarious to watch. Lawnbra is fun to watch. I can't give you a whole lot of recommendations for cool season because believe it or not, outside of like research for the videos, I don't watch a lot of content on YouTube on lawn care because I'm spending time researching topics for the show and work and doing other stuff. So I just don't really have time. So outside of Ryan, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He's a good one. I mean, he's as far as cool season grass, he's probably the biggest, I think. For warm season grass, I can tell you. I mean, you got me, BYD, Doc. We all have different takes. We have different opinions and different views on different things. But if you want different views on the same topic, you can bounce it between like those three for warm season grass. I'm sure there's others, but those are the big ones that come to mind. Okay, let's see here. Let's go see if there's any other questions. Robert Mark says, Ron, I live in Kennesaw. I have recently overseeded my bare soil in the backyard with Barenbrug PGR rye. How should I take care of it? I have the Stress Blend Carbon Kit Humic Max on hand. This time of year, Robert, I would apply the higher potassium fertilizer. I would use the Stress Blend if you got that. So I would go with that, and I would go with the Carbon Kit. So spray Stress Blend and Carbon Kit is what I would say. I'm sorry. Apply the Stress Blend and spray the Carbon Kit because the Stress Blend is a granular product. So yeah, that is what I would do. Save Humic Max for like March time frame. That is when I would use that. Okay, so let's see if we got any more folks. Any more questions? We got one more Carbon Kit to do. One more. I'm looking for questions here. All right. Jonathan Camrado says, I applied Certainty to my POA and to my neighbors as well in early December. The plants are dying, and I am setting myself up well for the spring. Thank you for your advice and great story and blogs. You are very welcome, Jonathan. Glad to hear that you're getting great results with Certainty. The fact that the POA is dying shows that you obviously sprayed it correctly, like you used the right amount of the product. And I'm glad to hear that the content on the blogs is useful. A lot of work, believe it or not, it's a lot of work between the pictures and the writing and editing and everything to make that happen. So I'm glad that you guys are getting some value out of it. It's a lot of work. Okay, guys, I think we are winding down. I'm looking for other comments here before we go to the next carbon kit numero 7. Higgy Pop says, even if I don't win, LG missing is a prize. See, you okay, now Higgy, now let's just take a moment now. I'm sure that felt good to say, but was that nice? Was that nice? Was it? I mean, do you feel good? Here's the LG is not going to take this well, you guys. I'm telling you, it's just not gonna. This is not going to go over. This is going to be weeks of belly aching over this, weeks worth. And y'all are just like, y'all are poking and prodding this man. He's sensitive. I'm telling you, just he'll probably have to hear the entire Christmas story. He probably didn't get what he wanted for Christmas. He's going to say, then all I want to do was win, and I won. I wasn't even here, and it's going to be a thing. Savage, man. Savage. It'll be hellfire and brimstone next week when LG pops in. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Well played by not finishing that Quentin quote. I don't really want you to be. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to. No. No, I'm not stupid, man. I just look like this. A friend of mine used to say that all the time. I'm not dumb. I just look like this, man. Like, yeah. All right. I don't know, guys. I think we are going down. Let me see who else we got here. Okay, okay, guys, let's do it. So if there's no other questions, let's see. So Devin is here. He says, "'Tis the season. Let everyone have a chance. If you want a carbon kit, that bad, just buy one. Plus, it helps Ron and this awesome turf channel he's made for us all to enjoy." I appreciate that, Devin, because the thing is, the carbon kit is really not that expensive given how awesome it is and what you get with it. So, if you don't win tonight, before we do the last drawing here, if you don't win tonight, then you can find the carbon kit. You go to the golf course lawn store, go to shop, go to lawn fertilizer, and then it's available right here. It's available in 4 sizes. It comes in, two sizes, 4 variant, or two sizes with 4 variants. So you have a 5,000 square foot kit and a 10,000 square foot kit. You have a kit that comes with Release 0, NutriKelp, and BioSpectrum, and then one that comes with Release 901C, which is basically Release 0 with fertilizer, the kelp product, and BioSpectrum. So if you have a big lawn, or if you have a smaller lawn but you just want more applications, because some people do that route too, you can buy the 10,000 square foot kit. If you have a smaller lawn, then the 5,000 square foot kit. You can get that on the golf course lawn store. Okay, next up we say here, Oliver says, "Ron, what would the lawn have been like if you were not putting down Essential G or the carbon kit?" It's tough to say. I can't go back and replay history or time, so I can't say for sure. But I can tell you that, like, the amount of, I put less nutrient into the soil, like it's less nitrogen into the soil than most people do for Bermuda grass, and my lawn still looks great. And then people that are in the Golf Course Lawn Academy also are able to get by with putting less nutrient in and still get a great result. So what I would imagine would happen is I would have to increase the amount of N that I'd have to go into the soil. I imagine like that would be a thing. But the big thing about the carbon kit and Essential G is efficiency. So for the carbon kit, if you're spraying fertilizer, it really helps with the nutrient uptake of the fertilizer. If you're spraying Primo, it helps with that to work better. Pretty much any product that you spray with Release 0 or Release 901C, it helps it work better. You can technically spray it with herbicides if you wanted to, and that's going to help improve uptake of herbicide as well too. I mean, we primarily use it with fertilizers and growth regulators, but there's nothing that says you can't spray, say, Release 0 with herbicides, and it's gonna help the herbicide work better. It's gonna maximize the uptake. So I can't say for sure because I didn't do like a control of one lawn without it, one lawn without it, with and without. But it would, if I had to guess, I would have to increase the amount of nutrient that I'm putting into the soil to make it happen. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to make our drawing of the last carbon kit, our last giveaway for 2023. So we go back over the random comment picker. And our winner is, of the second carbon kit, Shortgrass Living. Shortgrass Living, are you present? I thought you were here earlier. But if you're here now, please come to the DJ booth. We need you to say that you're here, and in which case we will send you your golf course lawn carbon kit. You were here earlier, but I don't know if you're here now. So Shortgrass Living, you are the winner of the second kit. If you're still present, you may have already left. You may have got your question answered. You may have gone off somewhere and been like, "Hey, I'm done for the night." whatever. I'm out of here. And if that's the case, you would have missed out. So we need to know. Short grass living, I'm gonna put you up one more time. Are you present? Because you may have won, or you did win if you're here, the second golf course lawn carbon kit. But if you're not, then I'm going to give it to somebody else. And you too shall have the fate of LG. Let's see. Nope. He says, whoop, whoop, I'm here. All right. So he is present. If you don't mind, Mr. Shortgrass Living, send me an email here to ron@golfcourselawn.com, and I will tell you how. So I'll just know where to ship the kit to. So send it there, and we'll get you squared away. All right. He's like, I'm here. I promise I'm here. Cool. All right. Well, guys, gals, hopefully you guys had as much fun as I did. Hopefully 2023 season has been as fun for you as it was for me, and you guys got some value out of both this live stream and the golf course lawn store. I've worked a lot to make it as good as I can as far as a resource for DIY lawn care, and just to offer awesome products to help you guys get the best possible lawn. I really appreciate all of you. Like none of this would be possible without you. The store wouldn't be where it is without you guys, and the live stream would not also be here without you guys. So I really do appreciate you guys a whole ton. To the winners, congrats. We're going to do more of these next year. What I'm going to try and do is get to do another one in the springtime, so I can get some more of the show sponsors on to help with prizes, and we'll make that happen. So again, guys, thank you all so much. It really does mean a lot that you guys spend time every Friday here with me to talk about lawn care and just to chop it up and in general have a good time. So if you're going out to party this weekend, be safe. Don't do anything I would do, and have a happy new year. 2023 is on its way out. 2024 is almost here. We'll be out there applying pre-emergent and building lawns that our neighbors will envy before we know it. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I'll see you guys next year. Have a great weekend.